Doesn't seem to be working. Let me plug my mic in. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. I had my mic muted. Sorry about that. Turn volume up. All right, very cool. I hate to do the mic check, but can somebody just say yes if you could hear me okay? And it's like decent quality. So, quick question, guys. If you look at the name of this and the description, I really want to get you guys up, and I want to hear from you guys. Anybody. I really just ask that you aren't, completely douchey trolling off the wall, But so there's something here with a $sign that says share your referral link. Is that the link I share so I can bring you guys up? How do I share a link? Do any of you guys know how I can share a link to bring you guys up? Media assets. I'm just kind of looking. I just want to be able to share a referral link. See, that looks like something. All right. Drop the link. Oh, I'd love to. So it says share referral link. Is there? Where can I find the link that allows me to bring you guys up here? Oh, is that the link that'll bring you guys up? Put a banner up. So, what is it under? I'll just put this welcome up, right? Hopefully that stops me from being. No, that isn't the link. All right, Kels Bells, thank you. Where can I, Kels? I know you know about this. Where can I find the link to bring people up? Invite guests. Guests. Okay. Invite guests. Thank you so. Oh, there it is. You rock. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Paste. And I think that's it, right? Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, bees. Thank you guys so much. I would have never known. All right, so that's the first. And hopefully this welcome thing blocks any kind of porn bombing, right? Guests, I guess it means I got somebody backstage here. Looks like Ernie is my first. Add to stage.
Well, I had to break the bubble, man. I had to break history here.
What's that? What do you mean?
Be your first guest.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's only appropriate that you're my first guest. And I very much, for you guys that feel certain kind of way about Ernie, I shot Ernie a message when he was well into his live, and he kind of made it clear that he planned on staying live for a while, and said, I was hoping to go live. I set it for 4:45, but if you continue your live, I will, I'll just drop that off. I'm not going to step on you. And Ernie immediately was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll end it. So
we're left for the perfect cliffhanger too for tonight. It sets it all up for my show tonight.
I thought that actually worked out really, really well, and I did enjoy, just like on the Johnny Carson show. Here's Ernie. Locksmith trolls a bit, but he's got some humor, so I appreciate his methods of trolling. He, at least with me, hasn't crossed any lines. But I liked the way that you and Lisa Kay were talking, and there's a lot of interesting information there that you guys, you know what I mean? Like, actually, what I was hoping to do here was bring people up, allow them to ask you questions in a human, respectful way. That, you know, I didn't expect you to come up, and you don't have to be here. And if you're uncomfortable with answering any of those questions, you are we could set it up another time. You don't have to do it at all. But I
No, it's
wanted
perfect.
to.
It's perfect. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. But one thing let's do right now to make this more professional on your channel. You see
Mhm.
that ugly looking duck in the corner?
Yeah,
You know how to get rid of that?
I have no idea other than I thought I had to pay for a
No.
membership.
No. Okay, so all you got to do now you've got the if you got the free version, right? Or if you got the or you paying for like a week. What are you paying for? Monthly visit. You got the core plan, right?
Not
Core.
Nothing. I got the whole free thing. I just was trying it out before I kind of made any dedications. So
Okay. Yeah, well, you can't get rid of it. I don't think you can get rid of it then.
okay,
It's okay.
yeah. If this
It's a
goes,
cute little duck. I mean, hell.
it is a cute little duck. I noticed you don't have any ducks in your.
No, hell no. There ain't no ducks allowed mine.
You know what? I got to pull my battery's going dead, so I'm trying to stay plugged in. But I'd like to see what's on the TV. Homelander. But let me try this too. If I click on show on stage, will that show your okay? She said Homelander, but notice how he had to show a bad picture of Lisa to try and upset her. So
I just
that's
think it's what you did for the avatar. That's what I was wondering if it was the pictures you used. And she said, and she did say it looked like my driver's license picture or something like that. So I went with it. I wasn't trying to hurt her or nothing like that. As a matter of fact, the thing about it is, I know what's going to happen in advance, and I'm waiting on it. So, she's going to end up. It's going to be her doing it to herself, and ain't nobody else going to do anything. You know how
wait,
I am
hang on.
with psychology.
Yeah, I didn't see that. This is like super weird to me. To my heart, I don't know. Maybe you're not even saying that to me, but so why are you saying hi when you left him like 2 seconds ago? Wow, talk about cult vibes. If that's like Ernie coming up on the live, I said hi because like if I that's really
Welcome to
I
the
hope that
YouTube streets.
I'm gonna just hope that. So I think that was wrong. So things are moving a little bit quick. The cult vibes. So I just got to be honest. To my heart, I don't want to step off on the wrong foot, but that's really weird to think that it's cultish for me to say hi at a new live. So I didn't know Ernie was coming up. So when he come up, I said hi, and to kind of to make the jump to that's like cult vibes is really fucking dumb. But I don't think that's what you meant because I don't believe you're. So I think I'm just misinterpreting that. That's all. Yeah, I was just being respectful. That's all. Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's to my heart. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I got to my heart. I really didn't. I really believe that I was misinterpreting something there because that totally didn't make sense in the way that I was interpreting it. So I I apologize if I was crass, but yeah, I'm sorry. And there was no Constable. I've never met I'm sorry. I've never met Ernie in person. No. Key locked to my heart. I swear to you, I'm sorry for being like uh, just nasty in my tone, assuming you meant something else. And I really didn't think you did, though. I thought that there was just a miscommunication there. Nothing but love, honey. Nothing. Fizz Crank said, if a panel is available, Ernie is going to hit that link. It's all good. Well, Ernie doesn't. Look, so Ernie going. Ernie knows that he's going to have to deal with a certain amount of discomfort by being on panel, or even though I won't attack Ernie, I still ask Ernie difficult questions, and I still, so Ernie, if you notice, Ernie's never been on my panel, and he's never asked to come up on panel. And I've even asked, like, I've talked to him about maybe interviewing him about certain things, and he knows it's gonna be difficult. So the idea that like Ernie's gonna pop up, I'm sure Ernie had to have had to think like, ooh, should I jump there? Should I jump up on Homelander's panel, because things might get tough. There might be some tough questions. So,
well, you see, here's the thing. Every time you've ever asked me anything, have I declined it?
well, I think you cut out on me. But
Every time you've ever asked me anything, have I said no? That'd be a bad idea, or have I said, yeah, I like this, go for it. I think I need this as well.
yeah, the only time, like I had mentioned, and this is the only thing I mentioned about like interviewing you and talking to you. And I'm still very interested in the your brother's case and things with you and Jimbo Geppetto, and you made it clear. You just were like, look, I'm that's behind me. I'm not really comfortable with that, and I am not making excuses, but you had to testify against your own brother, and if that's tough for you, I respected that and said okay. And if someday you're ready to really kind of,
well, I'm ready for it. It ain't the part of it was a lot of people say, you held your head down. I did. It hurt me. It hurt me bad to do that, and I didn't want to be in there. Like
I appreciate it
Margaret,
though
if
that
it hadn't been for Margaret, I wouldn't even made it to court. I was in Louisiana, and they sprung that on me. I was working for the radio, or I was working for the railroad station, a railroad, yeah. And I was like, not the railroad station. What the hell? I was working for the railroad company, and Margaret had to pick me up from the bus in Knoxville, and we literally pulled in the courthouse. She'll tell you at eight. No, it was 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. We had to be there. 9 o'clock. And I mean, I was like, I thought there was going to be warrants issued for my arrest and everything. I didn't, and she'll tell you that she remembers that. So
yeah, but so chat. This is, look, brain brawls and soul spills. All right, this is drama to discourse, not even debate. If we want to set up another night with like debate, I will get my notebook and my laptop out, and we will do intros. We will do 30 seconds each. I will set up a debate format. But this is more discourse. So if any of you are sitting in here that have strong feelings about it, Ted Thomas, I appreciate you. You have always just said insightful, kind things. I just wanted to acknowledge that. But if you're sitting in chat here and you want to ask Ernie questions, Ernie came up here. If Ernie doesn't want to answer them, Ernie's entitled to say, I don't want to answer that. He can just drop off panel. If he doesn't like it, he's not comfortable with it. If you come up here and say, Ernie, uh, you like cock in your mouth, you're banned. If you come up here and ask Ernie if he's a homosexual, and if you ask like a respectful question that you're curious about, and you ask it in a you know a level above 8th grade, like, I'm not claiming I'm not smart, I'm not special, I'm an elementary school dropout. But my point is just, if you got some heat or some just
Oh, that's
Focus
definitely
that.
gonna be clipped.
Well, yeah, right. Focus that question into a, you know, articulate way, a way that isn't like, you know, douchey. Focus that question like you are an interviewer, and come up and ask Ernie the question. You know, come up and ask him. That's what this whole panel. And so before Ernie even came up here, I had told him this was my plan. You know, this is what I wanted to do with this particular live. I wanted to give, you know, I wanted to give people uh, a chance to come up and ask Ernie. Not Ernie. I wanted to give people to come up and make their statement. Let me see this. I wanted to give people the chance to come up on panel and ask me hard questions. I'll answer them as best as I can, or ask. Let's say somebody comes up and they are totally in support of Ernie, and somebody comes up and they totally have things against Ernie. I wanted to let them have a discourse. You know, not a dramatic like craziness, just a discourse of asking each other's questions. Locksmith said, "How come his testimony was full of body reenacting actual events as if he were reliving it in his mind?" So, Locksmith, I have lots of good questions in that exact wheelhouse to ask Ernie about the trial and the trial video. I'll let Ernie address that, but if he wants to, but I'd rather. Uh, and I swear to you, there's no doxing. There's no. But you might not want your voice heard. But I would rather you come up and ask Ernie that question. Let Ernie answer that question, and then you come with a follow-up question. Because it's hard to, you only get like what 200 characters, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, it is. And let me say something. If they have somebody they want to appoint to ask the questions, if they don't feel comfortable,
Good,
they can
good
do
point.
that. They can do that.
Good point.
You know, if you have
There's
another creator that says, "Hey, I can take your questions. Give me your questions. Email me. Boom, 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 boom," and then come up here on your panel right now and do it. Because I'm gonna tell
yeah,
you right now, I'll be honest with you. You have got more out of me than anybody, and I already admitted that. I already said that. I said because I relate to you. I relate to you more. It's the way you approach things, and we're both on the same level in a way where psychology. We both love that.
yeah. And I just Fizz Crank said nobody really cares about his sexuality. It's 2025. Some of the most important people in my life were or are gay or bi. Just own it and move on. So Fizz Crank, I completely agree with you. If Ernie told me that, you know, he was attracted to, you know, green alien um, worms that procreated by chopping themselves in half or something, I wouldn't care at all. Now, that being said, Ernie's sexuality, or his, not even sexuality, who Ernie chooses to love, I also feel like it's not my business. So if Ernie wants to address things and answer those questions, but uh, I don't, you know, if I think the question really isn't is Ernie gay. The question would be, is Ernie bi? If Ernie is bi, I it doesn't, for me, it's irrelevant. I think it's more of a I guess like it's more drama. You know, it's more. And then also, let's just say hypothetically it was true. That's just gonna give trolls and certain people just more ammunition. If it's not true, people aren't going to believe it anyway. It's kind of a catch-22, but if that's a question that wants to be asked and somebody wants to kind of ask it respectfully, come up and ask the guy. I don't, I- but that again, I think that is his personal life. I don't think any of us should have to say, like, if you, I've been accused of being gay. I've been accused of being Ernie's lover. And, um,
Don't give
I,
them too much, baby.
yeah. Well, here's the funny thing about that is like, I'm not gay. Um, I'm definitely oversensitive, and like you can make fun of me for things like that. Gay jokes are still funny. Locks, locksmith, I agree, but yeah. So like if there was, uh, I guess it's different with Ernie. But if I was in love with Ernie or not any other man, what the hell does it matter? But I get why that matters to people because of the case, because of other things. But again, that's personal information. It's kind of a. I'm not making excuses. Again, I'm going to drop this link again as soon as I figure out how. And if you guys are interested, come up and ask. Come up and ask. Don't just sit back and let me just figure out how to find guests again. I think it's but yeah, come up, ask these questions. You don't have to. I have to find where guest was again. So, comments. Where was the guest link again? Oh, more. I'm sorry.
No, you just go over to
No,
where it says guest. It says guest
guest. Yeah, guest right there.
and
You're right. I'm
about
sorry.
list,
Invite
and
guests.
then you
So
about guest.
I'm gonna copy this. I am going to put it back in. If you want to come up and have a conversation with Ernie and ask questions, or even me, and ask me questions like, is this okay? Am I doing the wrong thing by giving Ernie a platform? Uh, ask these questions. I just want to fit in. Honeybee, so do we. Look, we all do. We absolutely all do to some to
And
some
here's the
extent,
thing:
right?
I came up here originally just to say, congratulations on your show, congratulations on your channel, and I
Yeah,
think you're
thank you
going to
so
do
much.
well. But I don't
Look, you don't.
care to stay for questions or whatever.
Yeah,
But I like to see it. I like to see you fill the panel up. Maybe six guests up here, and they're talking about this and that, and
that's my hope.
discussing. Yeah,
That's my hope. We don't have to make this into, like if people want to ask questions and debate for you, or do things. You don't have to stay up here, Ernie. Just listen, give your comments. Thank you so much for coming up and being encouraging, and that's it. And just so you guys know in chat, this doesn't mean that I'm an Ernie simp. Doesn't mean I'm a this Ernie supporter, or this is just, it's as clear and transparent as it can be. And Ernie, you are not held hostage here. This was never, I never expected you to come up. This was really an opportunity for people who felt strongly about you one way, and maybe people who felt strongly about you another way. But it was also for people who felt about me, and there's certain things about me and wanted to ask me hard questions or hit each other with hard questions. And that was it. That was it. So I really appreciate you coming up, and please feel free to step down. I know you got some stuff you got to do tonight. I think that's going to be an interesting show. I hope to catch it, and thank you for coming up.
Oh, anytime, man. And like I said, I'll be muting in and out. And if
Oh,
anybody
I
needs
got some
anything,
back.
just holler at me.
Hang on, I just got and again, you don't have to. Let me add to stage. I got Margaret back here. I'm just bringing Margaret up. Hey, Margaret, you there?
Hi, honey.
Hi, Margaret. And yeah, it's actually good to hear you, talk to you, because I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, I think we
But
got off on the wrong foot.
I agree. I agree. So, Ernie, you want to drop down? I'll talk to
Yeah,
Margaret for a minute.
yeah. I'm
All
gonna
right.
drop down, and
No problem.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up, Ernie.
Actually, the reason I came up is to debate with Ernie, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's fine. I can do that later. But I appreciate you letting me up. we did get off on the wrong foot, and I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Me too.
I was actually going to clear something up that was said in Ernie's chat a second ago. I did get to put it in chat, but where I had him blocked, like I can't see his link when he puts it out there. And there was a discussion about when Shelby Lee, his brother, had robbed a gas station, a local gas station. Excuse me. Ernie was not involved in that. I have to say that because he was not involved in that.
I love the, let me just read this. Trucking for Autism said, most of us don't do panels again of what happened out here. Too many bullies and channel bash for no reason. Trucking, I agree. I am always apprehensive and even afraid. And sometimes some things that people say hurt me. And I agree with you completely. Margaret, I love that you, there's truly so many things I like about you. I like that you give it how it is. Even, and sometimes it's, it's not always the way you want to hear it, or it might be in a way that somebody might find harsh, but I appreciate your raw honesty. I appreciate that. Here's what I'll say about you is it feels like you try to do and be nice, do right by people and be nice to people, even when
I treat people the way that I would want to be. Excuse me, that I would want to be treated. You know what I mean? Like that's just it. That's just me. I always have. Ernie, I tell you, I've known him since he was 9 years old. I've never changed. I'm never going to.
Well, one of the things I noticed, and it, at least for the most part, even when you're like, when your crew or when, when the group that you run with, even when they maybe start kind of ripping into somebody or being a little mean to somebody, you don't always, for the most part, you won't even jump in on that. And you'll say, like, well,
I have. Don't
you
get me
have,
wrong.
of course, we all have.
I have. But like I'm just me, like, and they say that I'm two-faced because I go to different people's shit. That's not two-faced. If I say it, or if I even think that it's something similar that I would have said that I forgot, I will tell you that I probably did say it. Like that. That's just me, honestly. Like Ernie can tell you that for real.
I've noticed that about you. You say, Fizz Crank, Miss Margaret, I respect you dearly, but that can't be proven. It is 100. It is a 100%. He said situation.
No,
One says
the
one
guy
thing,
that
the other
listen, the
says
guy
another.
that ended it, the guy that Shelby gave the money to, I've known since he was a kid. Also, like family friends. You know what I mean? And honestly, Ernie wasn't. Ernie was not involved.
I think it's great to hear. Fizz
Even
Crank,
though
if you want to come up and talk
I'm
about
not
that.
seeing eye to eye with Ernie. I'm not seeing eye to eye with Ernie, and I'm trying to defend Ernie. But right's right and wrong's wrong. You know what I mean? Like if I know the situation and I know that he wasn't involved, I'm going to tell you he wasn't involved. If I think that he may have been involved, then yeah, I can tell you that. But the guy that ended up with the money from that situation said that Ernie was not around.
There is there's something that there's a quote that says a liar will not be believed even when telling the truth. And
Costel, how do you say that? Consta bull. Yes, Ernie's brother robbed a gas station and gave the money to someone else. I know that's stupid, but he honest to God, he did. It's even in the police report. It's in the newspaper. Everything. Like you can go look it up.
It's hard to. Margaret kind of tells it how it is. I haven't seen her caught. Maybe she's been caught in mistakes, but I've never seen her caught in a flat out lie. And when somebody exaggerates for entertainment or even straight up lies for grifting or cash apps, whatever, when somebody lies, then their truths become subjective. You can't believe them all. So
Right.
having you around to kind of give us an idea of what is more likely true or not when it comes to Ernie is very, very helpful. And I love
But
that
I'm
you,
not seeing eye to eye with Ernie. I'm really not, because of the stolen
yeah.
valor and the fake cancer. You know,
Hmm.
that's something that I hold dear. So me and him's not seeing eye to eye. Do I have love for Ernie? Yeah, I do, because I'm serious. He was like a little fucking brother to me, and I could wring his neck. Like, for real. That's why he'll tell you I'm a hateful bitch whenever it comes to shit like that, and he knows that.
It's
And
also part of that
but
loyalty
as
that,
far as him, like, if he's involved in something, and I think that he's involved in something, you know, I'll call him out on it. And he will call me out on my bullshit. We always have.
and there's certain people, and you're one of them, and there's another one um, that everybody knows, but there's certain people that you definitely don't want as your enemy. They will grab you if you piss them off, even if
Oh
you're,
yeah, there's a bunch of
th-
those.
they will grab you by your ear and they will drag you to hell.
Yep.
But
Yep.
there are also just a couple, but there's a couple of people in this community who panel up and do things, and if they are your friend, they will go to hell by themselves and stand face to face with the devil to try and
Yep.
get you back. And you want that person in your corner, And I understand that it's hard because there's, so many reasons why you might hate that person because but I see that in a couple of people, and I see that in you. I see that as much as you might have problems with Ernie, and there might even be points where you hate Ernie. I think if Ernie called you and said, look, I'm on the side of the road and I haven't had a drink in 2 days, and I haven't had anything to eat in a
If he
week.
called me in any way and needed me, I would be there. I'm not even
I,
gonna lie. Like that. That's
I
not.
believe that with all my heart.
I'm not gonna lie. And I don't have a vehicle at the time because my license got took. Long story, you know, whatever. Um, but I could get a ride and go. Honestly, like if he was stuck somewhere, he knows all he's got to do is get a hold of me. Honestly,
I
like
believe
that's
that, and that's why even if I disagree with you or I don't like your standpoint on certain things, I would rather have you as my friend because at 4 o'clock in the morning when I get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, I know that you will find a way to get to me and make sure I'm okay. And I believe that. And you put out that, so
Christine,
if
if
it's
he's a vet, I will apologize and apologize and apologize. Like I'm serious, like for real. Like, but that's something that's dear to my heart, and he knows that. And I have told him and gave him my word. If he could prove that to me in private, he doesn't have to prove it on here. If he could prove that to me in private, I will pull back and never say another word.
sure, Wreath Maker. I'm not gonna look. And I don't want to act like I'm the. Again, I'm not anybody. I know that in my discussion with Ernie, he has said flat out he's been a liar for hire. And am I happy with Ernie's progress or lack thereof since the first time I paneled up with him? No, I'm not. I feel like he took maybe 2 steps forward and 8 steps back, kind of into the drama and so no, I'm not happy with that. But let me tell you something. Ernie knows that. Ernie, and I suspect that Ernie respects that because I don't come on here and I say, Ernie, this isn't right. This isn't what, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Ernie needs to. Today, I thought. When he got going with Lisa Kay, I've been trying to just kind of push to him, like, leave those tapes alone with Lisa Kay. If you're putting them out just to hurt her, that's not good for you. It's not good for your karma.
He's exploiting his own brother.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I yes. Thank you so much for saying that because I said that
That's
was
his
kind of
blood.
That's exactly where I hung my hat. Like the last statement I said was, and no matter how you feel, because I've heard like Lisa Kay say mean things about you, and I know you guys go back and forth tit for tat, but Shelby's still your brother. And the
Yep.
pain that might cause him is not something you want to do to your brother. So I don't want you to think like,
Reef Maker, I
I'm
know
like,
people. Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Reef
of
Maker,
course, please.
I have to say something about that because honestly, if Ernie was able, and I know he can't like just jump and go, if I needed him, Ernie's the last would be here. Trust, and I feel that, and I know that, no matter what. Honestly, he can say what he wants to. He can do, let him act however. But I know behind the scenes, if I needed Ernie, he would be here.
And that does give us more insight
If,
into
right, and if he wasn't, he would find somebody that would come help me. Seriously,
so much of I'd love to, please guys, don't be this panel is
I'm
really
not trying
just,
to defend him. I'm just saying the truth. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that's
and that's it gives us that kind of insight, because we have to, from our perspective, or from most of these people's perspective, especially if they have no contact with Ernie, or they have had contact with Ernie and it was
live and do it. Yeah, of course he'd have
yeah,
to have content out of it.
yep, and it was like their contact with him was negative, then everything he says is a lie, even the truthful stuff, because that's their experience and that's how they have to assume things. And so at least you give us kind of a more, but believe what we Constable, believe what we will. I don't want to just, and that's the point of this live, I don't want to just accept what we accept. I would like to explain why certain things are not true and why things are, and just do it in a way that we can, at least if you kind of argue and you're just arguing for your tribal side, that at least when you are thinking alone, maybe while you're sitting on the thinking man's throne or your toilet, you can think, well, maybe that person had a point, and maybe I don't think I know as much as I think I know, and it just kind of opens a door. So we should challenge things, and we should challenge each other in a respectful way, and try and get each other to see that perspective. Arctic, sorry, didn't realize I was dealing with a 5-year-old. I'm not here for a bachelor, WTF. I'm not sure that's to that.
I don't even know where that's going, but anyway.
Yeah, no, and I look, I really, I will do everything I can.
There's some hateful people on here, and I've been hateful, and I can be hateful,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have hate for just anybody. I'm not like that. Do I dislike some people? Yes, I do. Am I going to get over that? Yes, I am. You know what I mean? Like it's not like YouTube is not my real life, other than me and Brad. Like me and Brad's close, so we interact, like actually interact. Like I could literally walk to his house in less than 5 minutes. That's, I mean, seriously, like that's how close we are now.
Yeah. So there's
like there's always some kind of interaction. You know what I mean? But if I truly needed Ernie, and he would get somebody here if he wasn't coming himself, and I feel that in my heart. I don't care what nobody says. Like, do I dislike Ernie right now because of that? The stuff that's been going on? Absolutely. But I know if I needed him, he would be here.
And you have a personal relationship with Ernie, and that's something that 99.9999% of the people here cannot say, and that
right,
adds substance to what you say. Now, JP Fluff, I see a lot of what you say. You make good points. I have to say, like, almost everything I'm reading in chat, I agree with. There's certain there's issues. There's things I definitely don't believe that Ernie says. There's even more things that I don't know what to believe. I don't like. Look, I could write you a good several pages of things I have problems with Ernie.
Right.
But
I
I
totally agree
just,
with you.
yeah, and I just, I would like, and I look, I understand it's hard. It's hard for me. It was very hard to come up on panel, and it was hard to deal with criticism. But I would love if if there's anybody that just has a really, I'd love to see a diehard Ernie supporter come up and then just have a respectful discussion with kind of a diehard Ernie
Hater.
hater. Yeah, and you guys just kind of say, well, this is why. And I know it's hard to panel up, but I'm trying to get to your, Michelle. I always notice. So Michelle said, I always listen to my heart and turn my brain completely off. Michelle, I do the opposite, and
I go with my gut.
yeah, me too. Which is usually your brain or your kind of your logic, which is it's probably kept me from uh, maybe loving my personal life and certain things. Like being such a skeptic and a logical thinker is not.
Don't never go against it because you'll
Yeah.
always get that intuition of like, damn, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of there.
hmm
You know,
But it wouldn't it be. This is totally off topic, but if you could like be ignorant and happy and believe that unicorns are real and Santa Claus is still real, or you could be miserable. The Bible says with much wisdom comes much sorrow, much intelligence. Much intelligence comes much pain. We all know the saying, "Ignorance is bliss." So for me, if I could just be ignorant and joyful, as opposed to like a perennial skeptic, a total skeptic, and not see magic in the world, I would rather be ignorant and happy, because we all just want to be
right,
happy.
right, right.
So it's
I had to
hard.
take medication.
I don't. Did you cut out? Because I was really interested what you were going to say. You were going to say you have to take medication.
To or this stuff off. Now I listen to my music, of course, so it's on all the time because I go to my music.
You cut off on me again, and I'm really interested in what you have to say.
Really showed proof of anything. Um, so that's why a lot of people, just in the money situation as far as him earning money on YouTube, then let him earn his money. Like I have no
That's
problem with that.
and let me say to you, I don't. And this is just a little bit of insight for me. I because I being a single dad, I had issues with step parents, and a lot of girls, women, just were not. Oh, I'll never give you your firstborn child, or I'll never be your first. You'll always. So I noticed this kind of pattern of, and I didn't date seriously, and there's a loneliness that comes with that, and I stopped listening to music because music hurts my heart.
Right.
Which,
And I understand that because um there is certain songs that trigger certain things.
yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to explain how I relate to that, but I forgot what I was going to say. Uh, what did you say after that? Do you remember?
Fuck, I don't.
I know. We're both like
Listen,
we're going so quick.
I'm probably fried right now. No shit, like because yeah, I'm just. It's a personal day.
Yeah,
I'll put it that
yes.
way.
Same thing with me. Saturday is,
Yeah,
that's why I
it's a
went to a
personal day.
barbecue.
So I mean,
Yes, I'm probably a lot more animated than usual because I went to a barbecue earlier today, but
someone in the
uh,
chat says, "Do I think that Ernie is in a housing place for people with certain Let's see, health issues, and I'm not sure. As long as as long as Ernie has a place to stay and food in his belly, I'm not going to worry about him.
And I had, and I encourage anybody here to look up Maslow's hierarchy of need. And however, I don't want to use that as an excuse for Ernie, because somebody, there's somebody say Ernie has made, lots of bad decisions. Somebody had said essentially this: he had made lots of bad decisions and done lots of things. So forgiveness isn't. Look, here's my thing with Ernie. I do not. Ernie has to show progression in the right direction for me to even start to, take that route of like forgiveness and
Right.
acceptance and,
There's a lot. There's a lot that he would have to do to
yes, ma'am.
build that back up. You know what I mean? Like build that back up. I mean, even when somebody breaks the trust, you'll never actually totally trust them 100, or I don't.
Yes, ma'am. No, you're 100%. And that coming from someone like you and that, yeah, I was going to say about the monetization. Look, if Ernie's entertaining you, right, and he's doing funny stuff, and it's fun and interesting, he's on, and I've said this, he's giving you a 5 hour, or even throughout the whole day, he's giving you 10 hours of live and things, and you want to throw him $5, $10 or $1 or $3 for that entertainment in return, that is acceptable. In my opinion, it's good. It's a healthy financial ecosystem. Now, if Ernie is turning around and telling you in private chat behind the scenes, now I'm not saying this has happened. I don't know if this is happening. I've heard stories, but if he's turning around and conning people and doing that, like that sad man savior thing where
Right.
that's not okay. I'm not okay with
No.
that. I had one of my closest friends in the world, he passed away. He had that, I think it's called Willie Prater syndrome. He was maybe 5 foot tall, 500 pounds, and he had a heart as big as he was. And you can imagine at 5 foot tall, 500 pounds, that he didn't have a lot of love interest. So he got taken for everything for these Colombian cam girls. And he would fly down there like twice a year and be with them, but they would steal his money. He was buying rings to ask them to marry him, and they'd steal these rings that he, like these full on like $4,000 engagement rings, and it was just the saddest, most horrible thing. And so, look, I'm
just
not
being
okay
totally
with
taken
that.
advantage of.
Yeah,
Well, see, like
because
that, somebody said. Let me go back. I'm not. I didn't mean to interrupt
yeah,
you
I
on
wish
your
I could give
thing.
you.
Let's see. Shoot, let me find it. Somebody said that he's not entertaining, that he is harassing and threatening and all that, and which is true. It is true, but it's his channel, and you don't have to tune in.
So very, very true. And
there is a block button, and leave it at that. Like you don't have to tune into his channel.
Yeah, and well, that's the other thing is like the and here's, I'm not gonna hide this, Kintsugi, and I don't know how you feel about me, but I see you in other chats, and I like lots of things you say, and I think a lot of you guys would probably be surprised at how much I appreciate your intelligence, the things you say, but yeah, Ernie's got a lot of making up to do. And if he doesn't show progression and just kind of rolls back to the same thing, then that's that, man. And it is what it is. And there's no excuses there. But I also, and this is where a lot of us, I guess, disagree. Like, is are there humans that are beyond saving? And does that mean we should stop trying to help? Um, these are just now. Does that mean that there is like I have my lines? I have healthy boundaries, I think, and if you break those boundaries, or then you're going to lose my support as a friend, and maybe not even a friend, but as a as somebody who is trying to help kind of push you in not push you, not not even the right word, but kind of just travel in the right direction with you. I'm trying
Right,
to travel in a
right.
better direction, and
I think we all need to take accountability sometimes. You know what I mean? Like that.
yes,
That's
ma'am. Like,
you got to
yep,
reset and take accountability because when you're pointing that finger, these other ones pointing right back at you. I've always heard that all my life.
yes, ma'am. Again, just little diamonds of wisdom, and here's something I've just again analyzing. I'm so glad you came up, Margaret. Thank you so much, because I don't know, I wouldn't have anybody to bounce things off of, and I wish other people would come up and just kind of express. And please don't feel weird. This is that place where you can do that. But
Right.
there are one thing that I have realized is there are symbiotic relationships going on, and I realized this with as angry as my friend who was being taken advantage of by these Colombian girls. That was a
Hmm.
symbiotic relationship. He was getting things. Hi, Charlotte. How are you? He was getting things from them, and they were getting, money from him. Now,
Right.
where the line crossed was where they would get him to care about their children,
Oh
and then
yeah.
they would say, "My children."
That's head games. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's total head games in my opinion. That's what I call them. That's what I
Yep.
call it. It's head
And then get a
games.
message about their children dying of some disease, and they don't have insurance, so they need money. Like,
Right.
that's not okay.
Or
I don't.
one's in the hospital and they need this and they need that and that's too much.
Yep, that's not okay. And I'm not okay with Ernie doing that. I'm not okay um, with anybody doing that. So if
Ernie
there's
needs to really stop and take accountability for what he has put out there, what he's done to people, how he makes people feel, the way he just downgrades people all the time,
Mhm.
and look at himself. You know what I mean?
Yep, and he there's just I pulled out my I don't want to hide you from what is this? Are you up on the this one? Oh, okay, there it is. I pulled out just a journal or whatever you want to call it. I just will write down quotes, and I don't have, but difficulty creates the opportunity for self-reflection, and that is Susan Laurie Parks. But there's another quote that says, this is great, and it's really pertinent. But self-reflection is great, but only if it ends in action. It was Joe
Yeah,
Sacco quote.
yeah. You can't take accountability and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then turn around and do the same damn thing. Actions is what people want. They don't want words. I can tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry," 100 times, and if I continue to do the same thing, then that's not me being sorry. You know what I mean? Like that. That's where it like ends. It has to do with actions. Like he has to take accountability and stop what he's doing. He can't continue to do the same thing. And I don't know. Like Ernie's so self absorbed. Like honestly, like this, his ego is through the roof. Not even playing. Has been since he was a kid.
Mhm.
Like, and he wants that fame, and it doesn't matter if he's famous or infamous. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's yeah. You're hitting somewhere there. Doesn't matter if it's positive, um, positive attention or negative attention. It's attention, and
Exactly, and he's been that way since a kid. You know what I mean? Like that's
mhm.
honestly like he's been that way since he was a kid. So it's just grown and grown and grown. And then when he got on, Facebook and YouTube, and regardless of the highway runs or whatever, he feels like he's getting that. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
now that he's even monetized now, and he can grift off them $3 gravy and biscuits, whatever. That's their choice. If they want to send him money. It's not my money. I don't give a shit.
That's yes.
You know what I
But,
mean? Like,
it's between
he's
two
going to do
consenting
that. And
adults.
so, right, and he's going to continue to do whatever he's going to do to make that either infamous or famous.
And this, just what Michelle said here, I have drilled this into as a man who has, I have just drilled it into my daughter's head to never judge a man by what he says. Judge him by what he does. Judge him by his actions. There's a German philosopher who said, we are not who we want to be or who we are in the moment. We are who we've always been. We all know the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. So it's, and not just Ernie. There's other people out here doing these grifts. There's people doing these grifts that aren't even around. But the point is that look, when you get emotionally invested, loneliness sucks. I had somebody message me. It does, and I had somebody message me from I don't know, somewhere, beautiful woman, and I'm not I don't. Let's just say I'm average.
Excuse me, I gotta react to that. Summer of Night, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was there in person, and yes, we did rescue a girl. And as soon as I can get a hold of her, I will get her on video or live telling about it. So there.
And as Summer of the Night, I don't. I really tend to. I tend to take. I put more weight in what Margaret says.
There's a video. Me and Ernie I videoed it, and Ernie kicked the locks out the door. There's a video of it, but they took the video in like I was kind of behind Ernie in a way, like at a certain point of the video, because I was checking the scenery out while he was checking the RV out, right, making sure there was nobody there. And by the time when I got over to the thing, the locks was already out the door. Like I didn't see it, I heard it. You know what I mean? And everybody took that and twisted it. There's a video, but the way that they've got the video, like they claim that we had been there before and this and that and whatever. No, honey, that was the first time I was up in there. That was like a BFE, and boy, you got a pretty mouth. Trust me.
You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit, y'all. And I'm not by any means, because that was crazy. Even with protection, I had protection that day. And I was still scared.
Summer, if you have any evidence of that, please bring it up and show it. Because you can't just say that, especially with somebody here was there and is willing to say that wasn't the case. But there's the I think I dropped the link in there. Constance,
honestly, as soon as I can get a hold of her, because she's in Bell County and I'm in Harlan County. But when I get a hold of her and I can get down there, like I will get the young lady that we had went and got. I can get her on video and she can tell her story. Seriously, like I don't know, like it just that kind of irks me because I know I was there. You know what I mean? Like you was there and like you experienced it, and people still anyway. I don't care. I know what I did, and I know what Ernie did.
Renee, we're not talking about Summer Wells. We're talking about Summer of the Night.
No.
And
I thought you were talking to me. No, we're talking about a friend of mine's daughter. God rest her soul. She's not here no more. But that's the one that me and Ernie had went and.
I'm sorry, Constance. I appreciate the way that you will put things out. You antagonize Ernie in a way that it's even. And I said this to Locksmith. You add something to the channel, right? You get them fired up, and it adds enjoyment, entertainment to the channel. But I also think that you speak very well, and you have. I don't think anybody has more kind of knowledge of this whole thing than Constance, and Constance has her reasons, and I'd love to hear that, and I hope someday to have her on my channel um, just to hear that, and you know,
Constance too
even
showed me some videos of Ernie that was really disgusting, and that was one of the things that actually like had me triggered against Ernie.
yeah,
But
where
I've surpassed that because me and Ernie talk, and
yeah,
I've surpassed that. But when I heard about the stolen valor and all that shit, like it just that triggered me again. So yeah, that's he knows how I feel about that, and I have talked to local law enforcement about it. Not gonna lie, you can call me a rat, you can do whatever. I don't give a shit. Stolen valor, stolen valor. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's so much of what you guys are saying that I agree with, and my thing with Ernie, there's things in his past that are unacceptable,
Right,
absolutely unacceptable.
right.
And I like there's I'm a hard line on lots of things. Now I just wanted to see, and I still want to see Ernie do better. I want to see him do this, this adventure thing, and you know,
Yeah,
look,
if he takes his channel in a different direction, quit slandering everybody, quit threatening everybody, just throw that shit down. Leave it alone. Just stop. Ernie, just stop with it. Just stop with the slander and the threats and all that
hmm
shit. And go in a different direction, and you go actually do those caves and do exploring, or just go do a mountain hike or some shit like that, or even training, like do your training again. Um, Stop with the bullshit. I mean, for real. If you take your channel in a different direction, I think Ernie would really do good if he would take accountability and change his actions.
Michelle just made a comment. She said if Ernie came clean and admitted this stuff, he would be accepted so much more, guaranteed. I think Margaret has been trying to give him that advice
Is going to accept
behind.
him.
Yeah, of course, and I think even longer than I have, and that was my thing, was just Ernie. Like even on the Stolen Valor, I told
Mhm.
Ernie, roll this back, okay? Admit to this. Admit that it was wrong. Admit that you started to do it. Um, Now, yeah, no. I'm not saying you're Stolen Valor, Ernie, but I am going
I'm
to,
saying my opinion on it, and my opinion until you can prove to me that you're not stolen
yeah.
valor. In my head, you're stolen valor.
So
That's
what
it.
I laid out to Ernie was, roll this back. The community will, people will forgive you, and just be honest and authentic about it. And he said, nope, I'm not Stolen Valor. The Stolen Valor, I got, he's got he's waiting to drop that bomb to prove he's not Stolen Valor. My point is though, is I've said to Ernie, like, if these things aren't true, take a step back, admit these flaws, and then, or even these lies, admit these lies, and move forward past those lies. And like the point I was trying to make is that that's advice I've given to Ernie. I believe that's advice that Margaret has given to Ernie. I think that there's probably other people that have given that to Ernie, and I don't know. I still hope that Ernie starts even his what, oh, I hit hide, but even his thing with Lisa K tonight, I hope it stays cordial, and there's questions answered there, and there's some interesting content there without like this,
They
and
don't
let
need
me
to.
say this.
He
Yeah,
doesn't need to feed into. Honestly, like he doesn't need to feed into Lisa because I feel like it's going to exploit Shelby. And I call him Shelby Lee. I always have. So I'm just going to call him Shelby Lee. So I'm not
yep,
used to just calling him Shelby because that's what I called her Papa
yep,
or Shell. But
yep.
like I just it's going to exploit Shelby Lee, and it's not right. And he's talking about bringing Shelby's son on panel. Ernie, please don't. That kid has been through enough.
I
Whether he's 18, whether he's getting ready to turn 18 or if he is 18, leave him off of YouTube. If he wants to come on YouTube, you let him do it himself. Do not bring that youngin on YouTube.
Yeah, and I don't, that's family stuff. Especially, I don't know how people, like you said, the community. I don't know. Ernie said, "You will be proved wrong, Nana." And look, if this is something I really have wanted to get across to Ernie, um, and I've said it to him, Ernie. Nobody cares how tough Ernie is. Nobody cares
Right.
how accomplished Ernie is. Like 95% of the people viewing you live hundreds of miles away from you. They don't care if you know, can run through brick walls and do all these
Ar-
things. There's
Arctic Tiger Angel, honey. There's a friend of mine, and she does not claim veteran status, and she has veteran status on her uh, driver's license by mistake, and they told her to keep it on there until she goes back and has to have it renewed because she will have to pay another fee to have her picture taken and the damn thing fucking, excuse my language, printed out and all that, and her have to wait for it to come back through the mail. So there.
yeah. I don't, the stolen valor thing. I don't know enough about, but it's if the problem is if there is stolen valor. What I've noticed about stolen valor is that it's always indicative of somebody with a severe inferiority complex.
Right. The only
So
way
if
that
that
you can, the only way here in Kentucky that you can get somebody on charges, and Ernie, I've already got the information, so you're fucked. But the if you don't prove it, you're fucked. Um, it's grifting off of being a vet. Like if they've made any kind of money, any kind of discounts, anything, if there's proof of that, then they will go. They will go for stolen valor. So
that's also where, like, if somebody is look, if somebody's walking around stealing just valor, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's my job to stop it, though. And I don't, it's kind of one of them things like, okay, it is what it is. And hopefully somebody catches him along the way. Not Ernie, but like whoever's doing it. And now, if somebody's using uh, stolen valor to get people to donate to them,
yep,
that is a problem.
yep. And
Like they're both a
Ernie,
problem, but
there's
that's a
several.
serious one.
Right. There's actually videos of that with Ernie. So
We have somebody I think wants to come up. Oh, Ernie wants to come back up. Okay. Ernie, you are always welcome to give your side of the story here.
Oh yeah, yeah, no man, it's okay. Like I said, I've been working on my membership perks today, and I understand a lot of people say this stolen valor thing, but the thing about it is, I was investigated by Homeland Security, and the Kentucky Transportation destroyed my license. Correct? I told you that.
I don't know.
They held. Yeah, I can show you. I can prove it. They held up my license, but they had to release my license now. And how come it still says veteran on it? I don't understand that. They made two mistakes. Oh.
I don't know, but I know somebody that you probably know her too, but I'm not going to mention her name on here. But she actually like has veteran status on her driver's license,
Yeah, but
and
she has the same driver. She has the same address. I just changed my address again, and it still has veteran status on it.
well, I've got to go do mine because I forgot to put a stupid number on the damn thing, and they sent it to the wrong address, and it got sent back. So I hate
Well,
this crap. I actually hate this crap. But
well, you know,
if you can prove to me, and I'm not saying anybody on here, I don't even like.
I'm telling you, go have
I
me
like people
arrested.
on here, but
I'm telling you, go have me
between
arrested.
me and
Just have
you,
me arrested.
if I will have you arrested if you're stolen valor.
Okay, I want to be arrested. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
I'm
telling you
ready. I'm
because
ready.
you know me. You know
Yeah, I
me.
know. I'm ready to be
Like
arrested.
if I
I'm
tell
ready.
you
Hell,
something,
I've already
I've
been.
done
And
it.
I know
Right?
what. And I know what federal. And I know what federal says is a lot better than these damn local cops and city cops could ever know. So I know.
Okay. All they're looking for is actual like proof. And if you got
Well,
proof
tell them to
of it
go
and
get
you
it.
are, then they can't do anything anyway, right?
They can't do anything anyway. Right, exactly. Because the Department of Homeland already
Okay.
investigated me for it. But anyways, that's why
Okay.
the warrant's going. When the warrant hits and Angelo goes to jail, I'll show my license. That way I can go ahead and double
But
back.
as far as what happened recently with the cops showing up over there, was that a wellness check, or did somebody say that you had made threats?
No, that was the Homeland Security called the state police. And we're getting ready to have the FOIA on all that. My lawyer's getting that now. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Let me ask you just
Do
a
you have an
completely
idea?
hypothetical.
And I'm not going to say for you to tell who it is, but do you have an idea who you think it is? Just say yes or no.
I have two people, yes.
Okay.
If this is just a completely hypothetical, I'm not taking a, I just want to.
Go before we start with that, and hold that question, Homeland. Let me ask
Sure.
Margaret one time. You did tell that Shelby robbed a gas station. He gave the money to JR pretty much, and he took pictures with him doing that, and then he went and got married, correct? That's what he did with the money. Right?
Do what?
They went and got married on that money.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And
I remember that, and I remember talking to JR about that. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that you wasn't involved in that, so I done said that.
But Lisa Kay says that Shelby never held a gun to the cashier's head and pulled the trigger.
I don't know about pulling the trigger. I really don't. So I would have to like go back and look at the police report and everything and all that shit. So I'm not gonna say yes or no on that. I really ain't.
But it destroyed that woman's life.
I do know it was at gunpoint. I do know it was at gunpoint.
It did destroy her. It did destroy her life, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. She has PTSD even now. Anybody around the
same thing with Evelyn whenever she got robbed out there at the old Gilbert's gas station, Bobby.
Well, one of the things they did to Shelby to find out who he was and how he done it.
She got PTSD over that too, and that's been over 19 years.
The gun Shelby used to do that, Shelby's hand had a place on it where the hammer had caught the piece of his skin, and it didn't hit the bullet. It didn't fire to go off. He snapped the weapon. It's in the reports. If you look at it, I got police officers that would come and testify.
And that's what I'm saying. I can talk to them too. So that's what I said.
Marcus Williams and all of them. They're going to tell you what about Shelby Shell.
Oh yeah, like I mean, hell, I just walked up to the sheriff's office. They got a new thing in there. Walk in there one day, Ernie. You'll laugh your ass off. Scared the shit out of me. Got a poster board of Chris, and it looks like it's following you all over the damn place. Like anywhere you move in the office, it looks like it's following you.
Just to get back to the stolen valor, this seems to be a very big sticking point in the community, and I'm just curious that Ernie, if this hypothetically, just totally, I try to think of every scenario. If you were stolen valor and you were using your stuff to get whatever back when, just a little extra here at Long John Silver's, whatever, like just petty, and you really had no way to prove that, and not even even if you did have a way to prove it, but it was a lie. Would you, do you think it would be easier on you?
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
Would it be easier on you just to come out and say, hey, look, I didn't really, I wasn't sure if this was stolen valor because I did a part of it, but it turns out it is stolen valor, and I screwed up, and I didn't want to be made to look a fool, so I apologize. I'm just curious if that was the case, would you take that route?
Like, if it was, and I did that,
would you seriously, like, sincerely apologize and change your actions on things to make people actually want to be your friend, Ernie, instead of want to hate you?
Well, that's a matter of opinion whether or not they hate me or not. You see, I do this because of my teachings. I do this because my people know me, and my people are my people. That's just the way it is.
You was raised not to fucking fake cancer. You was raised not to be racist. Well, somewhat. somewhat, I'll say, because we know the history on all that. But
But I'm not racist at all.
I know.
I don't
What
think
I'm
I'm
saying is,
racist. I mean, I don't think I'm
you made a
racist at
comment
all.
earlier. That's the reason I come into your chat. You had made a comment earlier that was kind of racist to me. That it just like clicked. You know what I mean? But anyway,
I mean, it might have been, but I'm not racist. I love black people. Hell, I get along with black people.
your boxing coach was also, you know,
Black.
black. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like we had
that's my
actually two
family. That's
boxing.
not my dad, by the way.
Actually you had two boxing coaches that was black.
Yeah, I know, and I love both of them,
That's exactly, and I do.
and would do
You know what I mean?
anything for any one of them. Yep, exactly. Now, with
And like
respect to
I said,
thing,
well,
now when
now
I
that
give
you're on
my,
panel, now that you're on panel, I'm actually going to address something that was said.
Mhm.
You know yourself. If you really needed me, would I be there?
yeah, 100%.
Thank you. Vice versa. Would the other way around? Would you, if you were able to get here to me?
Let me say this right here. If a
I know that.
let's just say if there was a 7 foot tall dude that was 400 pounds and 23-inch arms, and he had you cornered and beating you up after the fifth lick, I would help.
After the family, fuck you, Ernie. Fuck you, Ernie.
No, I would
fifth
be
lick,
there, Margaret.
Ernie
You know
is-
I
that.
know you would. I know you would. And that's
Is
what I'm trying to get through people's head. Like I don't hate you, Ernie. Am I mad
Now
at you?
here's the thing. When I was
Absolutely.
when I do that thing with what I do, and I love it because the haters get mad at me because I do it.
But
When
why
I
do you
say,
do that, Ernie? Like why?
I'm sorry, guys.
what
let me
is that? Like,
explain. Let me
wait,
explain.
wait.
Let me explain.
I
When I
just
did
gotta
that, when I
pause
do
for a
that,
second. Please, let me just pause.
Go ahead.
Onlooker, what happened? This is supposed to be different. It wasn't. When I put out Brain Brawls and Soul Spills, it was for people like you to come up and give your opinion on things. And if somebody disagreed with you, to come up and give their opinion on things. It wasn't supposed to be just tons of drama. It was supposed to be discourse. But I feel that at least here right now, Margaret and Ernie are having a discourse on this current issue, and it's not name calling and degenerate. It hasn't degenerated to. And my goal is to make sure that doesn't happen. I did go a little more to a you guys get it, but it was never to be gross. And
right, but if somebody's got a different opinion, I mean, you've done put your link out there for them to come up and discuss it if
yes,
they can discuss it as an
yes.
adult.
Yes, and I love. I've made it clear. I love debate channels. I love when I just want people to come to an agreement, or at least be adult enough to come to a place where they can agree to disagree. Now this is what it is. I'm sorry. Continue, guys. That was just important.
well, let me say this. One reason I love to do it because I know how mad people get. I love doing that. I love making them mad. I love them hating me.
And I hate
And
that.
and I'll go to a store and I'll say, "Do you guys have law enforcement, military, first responders discount stuff like that?" I'll say that, and they'll say, "Yeah," and I'll say, "Okay, well here," and I'll go to get my card out, and I'll give them a card. Am I correct? Do I give them an ID? I give them an ID, but nobody knows what that ID is. I give them. So when you guys say that you think now remember they took my card issue, the pink card, the U.S. Army card, the CAG card. They took that card away from me in 2020. I had to turn that in. Now I hear that they're having more cards made out now than 25 that you can go and get another card. I intend on seeing what I can do with that. But as of right now, my driver's license says veteran on it.
So is this true, Ernie?
That doesn't mean anything, Ernie, because it could be actually like a mistake or anything. Like I know a personal friend of mine that has it on her license, and
Margaret, I had it on there once. I had it on there once. Angelo had on froze. The Department of Transportation contact the military contact Department of Transportation. DHS was called. DHS agent went with me. I met him down there, and we had a new one issued. It says veteran.
If I could just put a so I've heard some things about this, and I want to address it really quickly. Did you get a discount for your sister at Rent-A-Center by using military ID? I'm not.
Oh yeah, I know EJ Jones really good. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to see if I'm not even. Uh, I just want. I'm trying to find out if you got the 50% or the discount at Rent-A-Center for your sister with military ID.
No, I didn't use nothing for my stuff for her.
Well, why did she say it online?
But she was just joking. So no,
What do
never
you know?
used nothing
What
like
you
that.
said something about EJ? What are you saying about EJ?
A lot of shit we're doing. No, well, I'm with a bunch of skip tracers over here. We're talking bullshit.
Mm.
We're running people like William Glory Hole, people like that. Because he said $1,000, and Katie supposedly said she's going to up another 1,000 if I can't find who he is. I'll find
Oh, if
out who
you
he
yeah.
is. a
Have you
1,000%.
found it? You said you could find him in 30 minutes. Have you found it? It's been a
Well, I've
couple
been
days,
doing
ain't it?
I've been doing these other skips and stuff for other bail bonds companies. He give me 31 days, so I'm taking my time to make sure I get the right person.
Let me tell you, I just because I
So why
don't.
are you running EJ?
Do what?
I said, why are you running EJ?
No, I ain't running EJ. Somebody knows EJ. They heard you
Well,
talking. They said, "Is that Margaret?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "Y'all know?" He said, "Do you know who EJ Jones is from over in Everett?" So I said, "Yeah, I know who EJ is." He said, "Every time I hear something about it, something bad about it. He ripped somebody off." I said, "Yep, I know
He,
EJ."
he's ripped a few off. Oh well.
Yeah,
I don't think.
well, he ripped
That's part of the
somebody.
game.
Anyways, it ain't got nothing to do with this. But go ahead.
I don't think William Gloro will be bothered by me saying this. He gave me a lot of laughs and a lot of. I never had a personal relationship with him, but in another community, he gave me lots of enjoyment and happiness and laughs. And I like William Glory Hole, and if you can. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but if you can, if you can successfully figure out who William Glory Hole is, that will give you a status, because William Glory Hole is not. Again, I had said like William Glory Hole is somebody you definitely would rather have on your side than against you.
Oh
But
yeah.
Right.
I enjoyed. Look, here's the thing. I enjoyed the hell out of him being on my panel. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Uh, oh Lord. She can come up and question me. She always has good interviews, anyways.
I am
But
gonna
anyways,
post.
I enjoy the hell out of William Gloryho being on my panel, man. I had a fucking blast with that. I loved it. I loved it, even though he lied to me about a few things. But that's what I am. I'm a profiler. I mean, a skip tracer is a profiler. And Margaret, you can say whatever y'all want to. You can hate me, but did I find that girl without anything to go on?
Absolutely.
But a blue truck
Absolutely.
is all.
And
Absolutely.
Margaret
I've
doesn't
said
hate
that
you.
from day one. I've said that from day one, Ernie. I don't know how the hell you found her.
You see, and was all over my phone. Was I pinpointing stuff? Was I showing you the direction, how to do it, how to close in
Yeah, because
from
you was driving and I had the phone and you was telling me what to do on the damn phone. Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know how the hell you found her. I really don't.
So,
And I was the one on the phone and you was just telling me what to do and what to type in, and that's what I was doing. Like
Constance, so
seriously, like,
your husband went to jail for drugs. So yes, he is. I've got all that pulled too. I know you. I know who you are. I know your whole family, by the way. Anyways, that's your kid will even admit that. But it ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, you got a chance right now, Homelander, to do something with both communities, with all these communities, to pull together, and you can say, hey, if you don't like each other, have the best of the best come up, and let's battle the fuck out of it.
Well,
That's awesome.
that's and I do want, but it's not. So here, I don't want to let it devolve into just yelling, over talking. I would, I would love, and my whole goal of this was to have, people,
Well,
hopefully two people come up and wait their turn and
well,
speak and make their case.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and it's doing that, and that's what we're doing right now with me and Margaret. Margaret and I are doing great right now. I like it. I'm having fun. I'm cool, laid back, relaxed. But we have people like Katie.
I think he's done a good job on his channel and
He's
explaining
he's done
things on
great.
his
He's
channel
done
and
great.
stuff, and I
For
think he's
for
doing
somebody
really
just to
good.
have for somebody just to have 115 subscribers and have 130 people in his chat is a fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's over 100% reach. I mean, he's killing his percentage right now. That's awesome. Algorithm's gonna love that. Now, there's somebody in chat. This news reporter over here. I don't much know who she is. I've heard a little bit about her. She's in and out, but she's afraid right now. She's not got an umbrella to help herself from the heat when she comes up here. But that's just her.
I love I love Blame Katie. I love the. I understand the issues with you guys. I just really enjoyed the.
Here's the
There's a
thing.
lot
I
of
have
things,
no
but
issues with her. I have no issues with her. Without me, she has no content. There's no content with her. She can go and report on Thelma and Jane all she wants to. It ain't gonna go nowhere. Nowhere. Nothing she does go anywhere. Go back and look at her lives. The most views she's ever had, probably the most she's ever looked at, is when she done the live on me at her jail. That's a fact.
Because
She's never
lol
gonna.
counts views.
Okay,
Lol
she,
count gets the views. When
The
you're a
what's
real
that?
good lol
Constance.
cow,
I
you
mean,
get good views. When you're a real good lol cow, somebody that people laugh at, you get the views.
And so you're saying your husband didn't go to jail for drugs, correct?
No, that was my ex, my gay Mexican ex that I ran off to New Mexico. Remember?
Okay, I don't
That
know
was
nothing about what
yeah,
you run off with. You run off with about a
yeah.
lot of things.
It's not my
Hell,
husband.
you run over a guy with a truck and try to get a chainsaw out and cut
I
him
sure
up.
did. That's my
So I mean,
ex-husband. That's my
damn,
ex-husband.
so
Constance, you sound like me.
Constance, you've been arrested for prostitution how many times now? 6.
What?
See, Homelander, see that shit right there? He knows is a lie.
Well, I mean,
He
you've been
knows
arrested for
that.
something like that's got on the grounds of prostitution. You can tell right
Nope.
now if you want
Nope.
to.
Not a thing, and you know it. That's bullshit.
Then what was the other 6 times you was arrested for? Would you like to tell the chap?
No,
well, wait.
you figured it out.
Is the one thing I can say, at least from what I see, Constance brings lots of, I guess, receipts. And I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, Ernie, but I
Okay,
think,
so here's the thing, Homeland. I've been arrested 1 time. I
Mhm.
brought all that out, everything. She's been
Yeah.
arrested 6 or 7 times and won't dare
I
talk
said I
about it.
might have been arrested 6 or 7 times, Ernie. And
You
I've
have been
arrested
arrested six
children.
times. You
No, I
cried.
haven't.
Let me tell you, I brought it out because you was on the domestic violence registry. You was on the registry. I brought it out.
Not
You
anymore.
cried,
Not
whined,
anymore.
and bitch, moaned, and complained. It's been
Nope.
over years. I gotta have it off there. And then they took it off there for you. Just
Right, they
because of
sure did.
me.
'Cause I don't deserve to
Well,
be
they
on
don't.
there.
Yeah, they don't generally just take that off. But I'm just saying if the receipts are
But
there
why is he looking me up? Or why is he doing
Well,
this?
she just
Why is he
admitted the
going out
receipts. They don't have to be
But
receipts. Somebody opens admission of guilt.
Ernie,
Okay.
she's been arrested, but me and you both have.
Not that many times like that. And not
Yeah,
what
just
she's been
handle
charged with.
times. I said
Well,
maybe.
okay, Margaret, since you want to buddy with her, ask her what she's charged with. It's simple as that.
It's none of
Well, you
nobody's
said
business
she was
what I'm
charged
charged
with
with.
trying to run somebody over and using a chainsaw against them. Sounds like
I
something me and
admitted
your
that.
mom would have
Well,
done.
no, well, I'm talking about the other times. Ask her what she's been charged
No.
with. You'll laugh your
Well,
ass
you
off.
figured it out. You're the skip tracer. You figured it out. You haven't figured it out in this long. Must mean that I haven't been arrested, right? Da, da,
I haven't never looked you
da.
up really.
Oh,
I
really?
think
You just said you looked at my whole family?
No, I just listen to what
My
your family
son?
says.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry
well,
about
my
that.
family. My family doesn't talk to you, you bozo.
I think what's pertinent here is how long ago was Constance arrested? Is this
Yeah, how
recent?
long ago was that?
Well, yeah, I
No.
mean the DVO was.
No, it wasn't.
When was it? What year?
You tell me, Ernie. You're the skip tracer. I'm
Well,
not gonna do
you
your
already
work for
admitted
you.
to it. So what year
Right,
was
but
it?
I'm not gonna do your work for you. I'm not gonna do your work for you. That's what you want. You want people
Oh,
to go up
I
here
can
and
do.
get
I can do it for you. I could easily do it for you if I knew you was. If I knew your depends ass wiring ass was going to be up here, I would already had it ready.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
Try and
Lord.
keep back the no
What
ad
do you think,
homs. No
pal?
ad
Be an
homs.
adult.
Okay, I won't be
Yeah,
using
no,
those. So sorry about that.
And
I
I
won't
just
say nothing about her using the pens. I won't.
I think because even with you, Ernie, I'm trying not just me, others. A lot of us are trying to say like, okay, Ernie got arrested. He did his time. He came out. He told about his illness. So a lot of us are like, okay, that we're as recent as that was. A lot of us
hold up.
are,
Somebody said in the chat, if you're gonna make
yeah.
fun of Katie about her hair, at least wait till the fucking sun melts her head and you can have her hair for free. It'd be like a free
You
wig.
want
Yeah,
to make fun of people?
please,
Ernie,
please,
why
please,
are you
Ernie.
going? Why are you going at Katie so
Yeah.
bad and trying
Well,
to
no, not
accuse
even.
her of
Well,
being an
I
IV
was just
user?
trying to find out. Look, I'm gonna drop down, let you two have it. That way,
Okay.
more people
I
can come
really
up.
just.
I'm having fun. You're doing great. You're gonna do
Yeah, I just.
great. Everybody's loving it. I appreciate you guys.
Rage
Thank you
quit.
guys.
No, I appreciate you there,
quit.
but I'd love for you and Constance. The ad homs kind of make it a little tougher. That's all. Like the
Right.
insults. The insults makes it a little tougher. That's it.
Right.
He knows he's full of shit.
I
But
mean, me and Ernie both has been arrested, so I mean that's not a big deal. But um, he actually was trying to accuse Katie of being an IV user. I don't believe that.
no,
It was
He accused me
actually
of being a
disgusting the way that was
prostitute.
covered.
He accused me
Katie
of being a
wasn't.
prostitute.
Yeah, Katie wasn't an IV. At least look, as far as I could tell, that at least that didn't show anything about. I didn't see anything of that.
I didn't
IV
either.
drug
Like
users,
I really
And
didn't.
they're smart enough to use a long sleeve shirt the day they go for a photo shoot for their
yeah,
gallery.
yeah, that yes.
All I
There's
gotta do is all I gotta do is cover it up
absolutely.
with makeup. You know what I mean? Like what the hell? She does, I mean, if she was an IV user and a fucking model, she's going to know how to fucking cover it up. Come on
That was
now.
the day of her gallery opening, her gallery show. I'm sure she's got enough brains to know
Right,
to
you know
cover
what I mean?
that up.
Well, which again, I just wanted to get back to length of time, because if
She
if
was, if is a big 2-letter word, but if she was, she would have covered it up.
well, no, I meant length of time with like the criminal charges with Constance and
Yeah.
Ernie, because we're willing to forgive, and we're again, if there's changes in behavior. So if Constance has charges and these
I have
charges
not
aren't,
thrown I
they're
haven't
not the
thrown a chainsaw at
unforgivable,
another guy since.
or you have you have
You
been,
got cut him up, chick.
He wanted his chainsaw, and I said, "Here you go," and threw it at him. It wasn't even started. I didn't even
But
start it.
the thing is if Constance has 5 10 years of
It was over 10
being a
years
productive
ago.
member of society, then
It
it's
was over
definitely
probably
not.
20 years ago.
Oh wow! See, so then it would be it would be so two-faced to hold that against you, and then forgive Ernie for his more recent.
And I've never been a prostitute, never been arrested for prostitution. That's just his lies.
Even if you were, I still don't. I think the time that you have as a productive member of society and giving back, and I think that's again, like I've been saying about Ernie. Ernie needs to get some traction under him and heading in the right direction, and that builds up. It's not easy to do. It's hard to change things around. He has to get that built up, and then or at least I can say, okay, man, this guy's headed in the right direction. That stuff is behind him. I can start, trusting and forgiving. And so if it's 20 years, 15 years, 10 years since you've had any kind of convictions or been in any trouble with the
am
law.
a productive member of society. I don't rely on cash apps. I don't rely on the insurance to pay my rent. I don't rely on ladies to pay my rent. You'll never see me saying, my insurance has agreed to pay for any house I want for 6
Fuck, I
months.
want that
free rent.
insurance. I want that kind of insurance. If that's the case,
Right. I pay for my own rent, Ernie.
And I don't, like we said, again, Ernie says productive, laugh my ass off. I don't, I thought that, and I believe, and I could be wrong. I thought that Constance was, she worked and has a family and is. I thought she was productive. Okay, so if it turns out that that Constance is not productive and she just is doing these, unproductive, bad things, then show me that, Ernie, because I will, I'll stand with you on that. But I just need to see that and know that that's the truth, because as of right now, I thought that Constance was, even though she's attacking you or reporting on you, and bringing awareness to the things she disagrees that you do. I'm not sure I don't believe that makes her unproductive, so I would need to see that, okay, she's not, she hasn't become productive since her arrests. That's all. And I don't want to be two-faced and say, okay, I'm going to stand behind you, Ernie, and want you to get better and do better, and then attack somebody else for the same thing, but they've done better and gotten better. That's all. That's
Right,
why
but
I was trying to figure that out.
Right, but he literally just said that he loves for them to hate him. So
Oh,
he's
you're
not
right.
going to change. So
And
he's
then he
not
wants
going
to
to change.
sue. And then he wants to sue her for harassment. And
Right.
And,
You can't harass somebody and then sue
yeah.
them for harassment. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you
that's
can't
not the way it
poke the bear
works.
and then sue the bear.
You can't get
Yeah.
on here and threaten people and, go take warrants. That's bullshit.
So if Ernie has news or something worth reporting on that he doesn't think, I think the actual factual is a good place to take things, but if he's not comfortable with that, I will take that, Ernie, and I will report on it here. If you have something that shows that Constance is lying or she's not, she's not on the up and up, bring it to me, brother. Bring it to me, and I will put it here.
Right.
I'm not. At least where I stand now, I don't expect that. But surprise me. I'm not going to be unfair. I promise, I won't be unfair. But again, I need to, especially if I'm going to encourage other people. And I look, there's nobody. Thank you, traders. If there's nobody, maybe 10, and I'm probably losing people by getting it, like those 10 people or 15 people that appreciated the non-drama. I'm probably losing them in this. And I promise this is not.
Killer.
I'm sorry, was that Constance?
You said I was a panel killer. That I
No.
Great. You got panel killer up there.
Well, I it's hard because you and Ernie are really at each other's throats, so it's hard to.
But I don't degrade him. I do not. I don't say
right. She came up here as an adult, and she was spitting facts.
And I've never degraded him.
And with probably have receipts because Constance had receipts, and Ernie was sitting there calling her a prostitute and then calling her out her name. That's childish.
Yeah, and Ted Thompson, I appreciate. He's another one. Ted Thompson, Onlooker, Fizz Crank, Beezy's, all you, Barbara Walters. I love you, all you guys, and I love what you put in. I don't like when Ernie feeds the hate, and I know that he knows that feeds the algorithm and helps with. I'm not saying that's like a make or break, like this huge thing. It's just something that I think, look, you would be happier as a person if you didn't feed the hate. That's all.
Right.
Terry Southern Girl has something to say. I'm just going to put up here. I didn't read it, so I'll read it out loud. Okay. Ernie goes and gets a job and comes on here, and he says he has one. Then all these YouTube creators start messing that up for him, or you can't go to work. He had been on the run for over 3 years. I might see where you're going here. I would, you making a news channel, Homelander. I am not, first of all, I adore Katie, so I'm not going to do something that competes with Katie. But if somebody brings something to me, I'm not going to say that because I like Constance, I refuse to show this. Or if somebody brings me something about Ernie, I'm not going to say, well, I refuse to show this because I believe in Ernie. I'm just trying to give this kind of fair, balanced place for us to talk. Not even necessarily report. If there's something reportable comes, I will show it. But I'm just trying to give us a place to communicate, just like this says, like, from drama to discourse. Let's just have some open discourse. That's all.
Without yelling, without screaming, without calling each other names,
yes.
without lies, just talk on the points. You talk, I talk. You talk, I talk. That's how adults do it.
Yes, and that's what when I saw you come up, that's what I was hoping for, was like the ability to just kind of have a. But Katie, I adore you. I love you. You're so sweet. She said I can do the news. She's not a gatekeeper, but I saw that it was very quick. I'm sure everybody saw it. You lit a fuse. Not you. I'm sorry, not you. A fuse got lit on Ernie when you popped up. Let me just see what Ernie says here. He said her people are actually going to jail for child abuse charges and abuse on others, going around threatening people. That's what Ernie just said. Again, this is something I would need to see.
Not my people.
That's, again, these are one of the things that really irks me is, and I ask this of everybody, and I have no right to ask anything. I've said it a gazillion times. I'm a nobody. I've called myself an elementary school dropout. Like, that's not true, but my point is that I am not anything. The point I'm trying to make, though, is please don't call people like child abusers if they're not child abusers. Don't call them groomers or child molesters if they're not child molesters. That's just such like a scarlet letter. But if you have proof that there's people that are going to jail and that are child abusers, please get that to me.
I know what he's talking about now. Yeah, I know he's talking about Katie now.
Kate?
Yeah, he's talking about Katie, about the people that's going to jail.
Okay. I'm looking at it because there's.
Yeah.
I know very little about Mr. Viper. I know very little. Okay, it seems like it might have something to do with 303. I listened to a live with 303. I don't know enough about it to form an opinion because 303 was saying it was just because he had guns and so.
Ernie wants a link.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm going to jump down, guys. I got some stuff to take
yes,
care of.
Margaret,
I appreciate you letting me up here.
I thank you. I couldn't have gotten this started without you. Thank you so much for coming up. I'm so glad we got to clear the air.
No problem. I appreciate you letting me up, and y'all have fun. I'm gonna go do some stuff real quick, and I'll continue to listen. But
hi, Margaret.
I'm gonna jump off panel.
Okay, Ernie said he's gonna be nice. All right, Ernie, look, just no ad homs. Allow Connie. I'll give you around 30 seconds to state your piece. You can't.
I'll be quiet until he's done.
Ad homs and make us insults, and then I'll give Connie like 30 seconds to say her piece, and let's just try and do that. I don't. Okay, Ernie's up, and let me add to the stage.
Well,
okay,
we're talking about that, and here's the thing. Do I think Katie does a fair job with the news? No, I do not. But she does not report half on the content creators that are actually in trouble, facing 20 years in prison, that's already been convicted, like 303 for child abuse. Still, Katie will touch on it. Oh, we're in trial, but she'll damn well double down on someone who's never done anything, not a crime or anything. And then we have Bird running around all over the United States, going to people's houses, threatening to them, already has restraining orders. I don't see her reporting on actual news. The only thing I see her doing is reporting on a trial that happened in 2019 and a crime that happened in 2013. And she keeps going back to the same trial that's been played over 1,900 times. So that's what I see. And anybody else, and my people see it too. She blocks out the people who go against her, who say anything against her. She blocks them out. So, if she's going to be a news channel, then hey, I'm pretty sure journalism comes and starts out as journalism and it turns into news. And that's the way you got to do. You got to be fair. Is she fair? No, she's not. She's not fair at all. I'm telling you. And for her being a Republican, she should change it to Democrat because she's worse than CNN. And that's a fact. Even CNN sometimes, they report on actual stuff. For her to say she's the actual factual, I don't think that at all.
I've heard her just when I'm listening, she's made it clear that her channel's shenanigans. She's not. But although I understand what you're saying, you got to report.
Well, I think they should be two sides. She could be the CNN part of it. You could be the Fox part of it. You've already got the attention. You've already got the people. You know what you're doing. You have more psychology terms than she'll ever have. You don't get out in the sun and melt like she does. Okay, she melts under pressure.
No ad homs. No ad homs. I don't I don't want to be Fox News. Definitely not Fox News. But I will definitely. I don't want to attack people. I don't want to.
Well, you don't have to attack people. Just put out the news.
Look, if you come with evidence, I will show it. I will. Thank you so much, Miss Mayor, for Margaret. I will show that. I will show that, and if people who that is against.
So let me ask you a question. When I put Angelo in jail for the crimes he's committed, as soon as he goes to jail, you will report on it.
Sure, absolutely.
That's all I need to know. I need to know.
I don't know. So ad homs are just like ad hominems. It's like insulting somebody that has nothing to do with the debate or the argument. Insulting them on a personal level, and it's attacking them and not the argument, or attacking them and not the debate or the issue that you're trying to talk about. But I don't know enough about the situation. I don't want to. Absolutely, if Ernie goes to jail, I will absolutely. But yes, I'll report on it. We'll talk about it. I'm not trying to. I had a hard time with something that happened at home, and there was only 20 people here, but I loved being able to come and talk to those 20 people that helped me, just kind of process that and talk about that. And I don't want that to go away. But
I talk about Angelo when he goes to jail, or if he goes to jail.
Let me say this. Constant Sue actually brought in a man who we all know, who is well respected in the military, swore up and down that Angelo had told her that he got his information from Mr. Don and Don Shipley, and she swore to that. Miss Constance Sue did, and Katie could have held her. Yes, you did. I got it. Yes, you did. Everybody heard that.
I said, yes, I did. I said, yes, I did.
She's admitting to it.
Okay, I'm glad you admit to it. Can you admit you're wrong now?
No, I'm not wrong.
So can you no, because I've actually
got the information from their charity.
I've I'm sorry. I've watched Don Shipley, and I enjoyed completely separate from this, just enjoyed Don Shipley's comment. I respect
here's the thing. That guy over at Katie's knows him real good. Took my information to Don. When's Don going to report on it? When's he going to report on it? I'm waiting on it.
Don doesn't report on it. He only does Navy SEALs.
Yeah, he really does only do Navy SEALs. I've never seen him do anything outside of the SEALs. But Constance, where did you do you have accurate information that Don Shipley was involved with
his charity was?
His charity was?
Yeah, his wife is.
Okay, so I'd love to see some. Well, there should be some documents, shouldn't they, Homelander? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, there has to be some, there hopefully something that ties it to Don Shipley's charity at the very least.
Right. And that's
So
been shown,
again,
Ernie.
I've put my email in the chat, and if
You
Constance
Well, where's that
wants,
information at? Then where's that information at there? Constance?
I'll email it. I'll get it from Angelo, and I'll email it to Homelander.
I'd love to
shown.
see this. This is gonna be an awesome next show.
Okay.
yeah, no. So I'll get that.
It's
The
shown,
next
Ernie.
show, the next show might be about, me dealing with. I'm still dealing with the grief of losing Daisy, my daughter's rat, and having
Oh.
to bury her and stuff. So I can't promise my next show is going to be all drama. Again, this wasn't even. I just want to be able to give people, instead of the drama, the yelling, the name calling, just to have a discourse.
Traders, if you want to come up and explain it better than me,
Well, yeah, we'd
That's
love to have
probably
traders up here. I mean, yeah, ask her her mother permission
It's on
because the
Ernie's
state
own
might
life.
not like it.
I
She said
will.
Ernie showed the paperwork on his own live. It's on your live, Ernie.
If I will put this down, if traders comes up though,
Sorry,
Constance,
I didn't.
just so it's not I'm sure you could understand, just so it's not like a
Yeah.
gang up, I just would need you
Yeah,
to kind of
I can
mute
drop
up. And
down.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to drop down, just
I'm
mute up.
I'll let traders have the floor. I'd love to hear this.
Yeah, no, I'll put this in. If traders wants to come up and speak on it, I would love to hear what she has to say. I just want to, look, Ernie, I'm going to make sure that you're not ganged up on, and I'm going to do everything
Well, I
I
ain't
can.
worried. I'm used to being ganged up on. I ain't worried about it. I mean,
I know. I just don't want it to turn into that. I just want you both to be able to
just can you
speak.
ask
He's
her?
already
Can you
messed
ask?
with satire. He's
Can
already
you
messed
can
with
you ask?
satire for no reason.
Can you ask traders not to bring her dog collar up because I'm scared of dog collars.
All right, see, you're starting with the ad homs already. You
I'm
got to let
sorry,
that
brother.
go.
I'm just playing. It's just
I
joke
appreciate.
comedy,
I can appreciate the fact that you have strong feelings towards these people, but just for the sake of the debate, so you don't see what
Okay.
happens. Let me just put this out: when you start tossing insults, you start losing credibility, and I don't want you to lose that credibility. If
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't
you know,
say nothing else about it. But I
no,
do want to
don't
hear
say
this
sorry to me. I
actual
just don't.
factual.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
that's
you
fine.
to.
I'm gonna sit here and eat my. Have you ever had one of them Oreo ice cream sandwiches? They're good.
Oh, I love them. Actually, I get them way. I'm trying to. I'm a tall guy, so it's not a big deal. I mean, it sucks being a little over 200. Like 205, but at 6'2". But I still would much rather be like 180 again. But
While
I
we're
eat
waiting
too
for
much of that
traders to
stuff.
come up, wouldn't you say that police report when the police came to Ernie's the other day, that was kind of a half-ass effort to look for a bomb threat? Wouldn't you think they'd bring the bomb squad and the dog if that was for a bomb threat? That was more like a wellness check or a welfare check, in my opinion.
Your opinion.
That's a.
That's a good one. Go ahead. I'll answer him.
I would think. So especially the Kentucky Derby, even after just remembering back with what they did to the what was it, the Olympic City bomber from Atlanta. Just certain things when if a bomb threat came in for somebody who was going to be working at the Kentucky Derby, there would be a. Now, I will say we don't know what happened before that, but it didn't seem as large of a presence as I would expect in there. At least a dog. But I'm not speculating on what it was. But could you tell us, Ernie, and you can keep that to yourself? It's not.
Well, I mean, you heard them. They said it was higher up from the Department of Homeland contacted them.
You said it was a bomb threat, Ernie. You said it was a bomb threat.
And contacted them, and they asked me on live, "You have any guns? You have any weapons? Any bombs in the house?" That's what he said.
I didn't hear bombs, but
she's an idiot. She's
I
an
didn't.
idiot.
I really didn't listen to it close enough to really start picking that up. Yeah, don't. But
well, I mean, so she can sit there and say, "Oh, you said the bomb." She can say that I said stuff and put things in my mouth or something, and makes people believe it.
Okay.
That's what she her content, and then she
Okay.
twisted it
You
around.
didn't say it was a bomb threat. You didn't say it was a bomb threat.
They said I made threats to the Kentucky Derby. That's what they said. So
Yeah, no, and
Okay.
that's
that's
is
what the police said.
and they asked you about it, but they didn't bring any dogs. They didn't. How much did they tear things apart?
They went
Not
and
a
looked through the house and looked through my room and scattered a few things
It
around.
took them
About
less
it.
than a minute.
The thing about it is,
Hang
they
on,
was on the
Constance, hang
radio.
on, Constance.
What you didn't see is the other guy was on the radio the whole time, and he was radioing. They was telling him this has happened before. This is usually false, fake, and then that's when my lawyer was like, "Hey, we're going to FOIA all the requests, and we're doing that this weekend right now.
And so
We're in the verge.
So are we.
We're on the verge of doing it." And my lawyer said to do it, get him all the information. And once it brings out the law in Kentucky, you can look it up yourself. If you SWAT somebody in Kentucky and you're proven and everything's proven false and that person's cleared, that person can sue you for 10 times the amount of damage, especially if you're involved in a criminal act and you're charged. If you're charged and you're convicted of that criminal act, Angelo will be convicted of fraud.
It wasn't
My signature.
Angelo. It was
Now,
not. He
Well,
did
hang
not,
on. Yeah, before we get to Angelo, is
but again, like I said, when the FOIA comes out, you guys will have it just like everybody else. Simple as that. That's
You're
easy.
saying two things. You're saying the FOIA for the bomb threat and the FOIA for what?
Well, you see, the thing about it is, we do know Angelo's he's reached out to the Department of Homeland because he reached out to Kentucky State Transportation Cabinet, and that's proved wrong, right?
well, just to roll back so we can.
For a bomb threat.
Oh, yeah.
We can put
No. I still got him, because I'm going to have him on forgery for
at
what
the
he
very
did.
least. At the very
And I
least,
will
we can
sue
put.
him. I will sue him. He will lose again in court, and we will be putting his records out there. We will put all his records out
Well,
there.
hang on. You guys are talking. Nobody can hear you talk over each other. We can at least put a pin in the bomb threat, and once
nothing like that.
the information is FOIA'd and comes back, we'll be able to hear for sure what that is about.
I'll handle you out first off, right off the bat.
We could stick
I'll go
a pin
to a
in
real
that for
news
now.
source. I'll go to a real news source like you. I'll let you put it out there. I'll hand you the
I will cut it up. I will play it up. I will show everything exactly how it's supposed to be shown. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait for that because everything else we'll have to just speculate on. And the next thing you were speaking about was Viper.
And that's what needs to happen. People need to wait and do their homework before they just throw stuff on the internet instead of doing anything. That's what happens with all these other fake, false news channels. They grab something they hear, and it's all up to be the first one to have it there instead of doing their true investigations on it and then putting it up when it's time and when it's factual for the people.
And
that's the difference.
They're hoping they run with it.
That's the difference. And like you, Constance, you run with everything. I don't know how many times you're on your hands and knees toward Jimbo. Simple. And you know that. Go ahead.
More bombs.
If I could just, please don't insult, personal. Just let's try and keep that. There's plenty of other lives, plenty of other places you guys can do that just for the sake of this. So the onlooker said that Ernie's sister told Lisa Kay it was a threat from the Derby.
Yes, exactly. It was. And it cost me my job. It cost me my work, and I'll show you my acceptance. And from what I was going to be doing, I'll show you everything about it.
Ernie, just for 1 second, I just want to find out if there's a second source. I love the onlooker. Everybody knows how much I adore the onlooker. I just would like to find out if there's a second source that we can find out about the threat to the Derby, or even a second source that did.
I'll tell you what I'll do right now. I'm going to put you out the information right now, showing you where I would work at the Kentucky Derby what's supposed to be this weekend.
Well,
or you want to wait to it? You want to make this?
Let's wait until we get everything else.
Okay.
I know I've worked the Haskell, which is the fourth leg of the Triple Crown, and I know that it's very big, and we have to pull in resources from other places to to do security there.
Mhm.
So it's very easy to kind of get hired. I guess I don't know what they call it, per diem, or just kind of get pulled in for that one day and make a few bucks.
Well, the thing about it is the company that runs the company, the escorting part, the part where the protection part of it, where you got to drive clients back and forth. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
That has been around for years, and they've already
Well,
had the contract for the Derby.
And
So
they hire
I will
felons.
give you,
They need to
I
be
will give you the
investigated.
information. Yes, they do. I
hang
will
on,
get.
Constance.
I've worked it.
I want to hear what you have to say. Just give Ernie a second.
Okay.
I will give you the information showing you where I supposed to have been in the class to teach and show you where they was going to show me over
Yeah,
things and all that, where I had the job, where I've got it. I'll show you
Well,
that information.
I'm just and show me where it shows you're going to teach, just because usually the state police teaches. So I'd like to see that and be able to show that to others. But anything you can show me that would, even if you weren't teaching it and you were
Well, it's
as a
to teaching the
student being
team. It's
hired
not
for
teaching
the.
the class. It's to teaching the team that's hired, not the class
Yeah, no, that would be
or the
really cool,
company.
because
Yeah.
I don't know, like we would have when I worked at the track, the state owned it, so the state police were literally my bosses. But
Right.
if you have anything that shows that you were
That's why the
teaching,
state.
that would
That's
be.
why the state police responded to the incident too, because it involved
Yeah,
the
no,
Derby.
I'd love to see anything that, just so I can put that to bed and I can say, hey,
So-
look, Ernie was teaching this class.
Yeah.
But Connie, what did you have to say?
I think I forgot by now.
Yeah, no, I do that too.
Just that any company that would hire a felon to do security, for the people at the Derby, that to me is, there's a million people out there that aren't a felon. I don't think they would take chances with their clientele by hiring a felon. I think that'd be a hell of a liability should
No,
something happen.
not violent felony. No.
I
It doesn't have to
actually,
be a violent felony.
I know Mr. Clayton. I know I don't know him, but and I forget. It's like the Andrew something. He's passed away, or I don't know. But the man, the CEO of that company now, that's in charge of Churchill Downs Security. I don't know him where I can call him, but I don't know about that. If Ernie's going to provide me evidence
Yeah, we'll
that
wait
he
for that.
was, yeah, then
How many days are we going to
that's
wait? It's always going to come with Ernie. It's always going to come. It's been 4 years for something. So how many days are we going to wait, Ernie? Is it going to be ready by tomorrow?
No, I'm gonna give it to him for his next live.
Okay.
and I'll show it. And if I don't have it, or he needs more time, the one thing Ernie,
Well, see,
no,
here's the thing: if you do it all at once, if you do a show on all of it, when the FOIA comes back, I get the FOIA. The lawyer
Oh,
looks at it, edits it,
FOIA.
makes sure everything comes back. You put it all together. You do one big show over it all. That way, they can't say, "Oh, you're skipping parts and pieces about it." You have the story. You have the outline.
You didn't
You
say
know
that.
what an outline is in a timeline. You got to have that timeline with the outline. It's simple. It's just simple. That way, nobody can say, "Hey, he's going back and forth to this and that." No, this is real.
Ernie's
This
just
is
like,
what
we have
happened.
enough time to forget it.
Here's the warrants that was issued for the arrest. Here's the civil matter. Here's the civil suit. A, B. You'll have one, then you'll have A, B, C, two, A, B, C, three, A, B, C, and everything to
It'll
do
never
that.
happen.
You know what I'm talking with that. You know what I'm talking about with that. And you also know the limousine companies and stuff that's involved with the Kentucky Derby, correct?
yeah. So that I don't know if there's a
And
hired company.
that's Jacko. Jacko owns it.
Okay, so yeah, that's something I might
Bingo.
not.
So-
I can tell you stories. We did that. We handled. There was guys. There was a guy. Just to add a little, I don't know, but
Hey, hold on.
there
I'm
was
going
a
to chase
guy.
my dog. I want to jump down for a
Yes,
minute.
yes, Connie. Thank you for coming up.
Thanks. I gotta hurry.
Okay, there was a guy who once every few months, there would be a horse running at literally even money. You would get if you bet $2, you got $2.10. And this guy would come in with a McDonald's bag filled with $10,000 and place that bet. And he would take the train that would pull right in. The train pulls right into Monmouth Park, and we would have to take the mobile unit, which is just, an SUV with lights on it. We would have to pick him up right off the train because he had this bag of money, and we would have to drive him to, and if there was people that, if the state police were not doing escorts and they didn't have, then they had us do it. So I don't know how that works because as big as the Haskell is, the Kentucky Derby has, you have really high level.
Okay, I just sent you a text. Look at that. Look what it says. Just that part right there alone. Look what it says.
If I click out of this, it'll knock me off. I do see it there though. I will check it and
Okay.
we'll get, but
Oh,
yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah.
I'll tell you my emails. You see what it says, don't I? Got to be there at a certain time, right?
I didn't see it. I will pull it up though after I'm off the live, and I will address it. Ernie, I will be up front. I will not lie for you. I
I know
will
that.
not and I value that in our interactions, and for the people listening, and it's okay if you despise Ernie and you think he's just the worst, most horrible human being. I'm not. That's your thoughts. That's okay. But Ernie has never shied away from the fact that I was never going to, I wasn't just gonna just lie about things or play games. If Ernie says he's going to give me something and he doesn't give me, yeah, traders, I got the link again. And he doesn't give it to me, I'm going to tell you guys I didn't get it from him. And if he does give it to me, I'm going to show you exactly what he gave to me. And he knows that. So I don't know what his long game here would be, because either I'm going to tell you, look, he's playing games and not getting it to me, or I'm going to say, this is what he got to me. So, and this isn't something that's like new to Ernie. Ernie knows this really well. So the first thing I ever said to him was, you will only get the truth from me. Only going to get honesty from me. So now whether that means Ernie's going to kind of string me along, I don't know. I would assume that he's got something to give to me. Otherwise, he wouldn't, have said that. So, Ernie, looks like you have somebody coming up to talk to you. And again, I will please, same thing. It's hard not to throw in the ad homs. I know you get angry, you get heated, or, insults. I will do everything I can to make sure that you get your ability, or you get to, here we go, that you get to speak. Okay. Are you there, Ernie? I can't, hang on.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Can
here.
you-
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. Traders should be coming up, and I will make sure that
I'm right here.
let's give traders 30 seconds to, 30 seconds to a minute to say what she came up to say.
Well, I just came up because the Constance had asked if I could explain the who FOIA'd, I believe was the question.
Okay.
Okay, so I sent you 2 emails so far, Homelander. The first email that I sent you was the unredacted NGB Form 22, and the very first live that shows Ernie showing his redacted NGB Form 22, and how they're exactly the same document with the exception of the redacted. So you can look that up on your own. And I just walked you through it, the code that you're looking
No, that's
for.
great.
The second email I just sent you is Ernie's live. It's titled, gotcha warrants filed, and then I took a screenshot from timestamp 4 minutes, 32 seconds. 4 minutes, 32 seconds. Ernie himself shows, and I don't know if you want me to share the screen because I have it pulled up right now.
I will. If I don't. How would I share this? Allow you to share this screen? Is there a solo layout?
You go back in the back and let her up, like you let somebody else up.
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. You're gonna see another box, and it'll say my name.
Got ya.
Okay. And I
Yeah,
promise I'm not.
No, I trust you.
Yeah.
It's
You have to move your wallpaper.
okay. I'm gonna drop the wallpaper down. Banners. What media assets? What is this? Just drop that
There you
down.
go.
Okay.
Okay. So this paper right here. Oops, wrong timestamp. Sorry. 4 minutes, 32 seconds. This paper right here is what I sent you in the email. Right here is, now Ernie Shell was homeless in New York. It would have been the middle of June 2024. He was saying he had his military ID. He was saying that he was showing that he was absolutely homeless, indeed. So Angelo knew me from another community, but that's how he got to see Ernie himself. I believe it was Nicolina's live where she was restreaming him. And Angelo himself saw Ernie say he was a homeless veteran. And that's what Angelo does. He helps people online. So this right here, top right corner, July 1st of 2024.
So he was looking to help.
Yes, he was absolutely looking to help because me and Angelo, we talked, but I covered Ernie, as everybody well knows, but Angelo did not. So he went to this organization, and it's right here. Ernie showed this himself. It's DD 214 Direct Veteran Advocate Team. It's got the website, it's got the phone number. They're the ones that actually got Ernie Shell's documents. So right here is what Angelo.
Hang on, Ernie. Hang on, Ernie. I promise I'm gonna give you I'll give you a full 2 minutes. Just let her finish.
Yeah. So right here, and this is what I sent you. I sent you this link to this 8-minute live, and then I screenshotted it for you. So if you look up, and I will stop the screen because that's all I wanted to show. If you look up the organization, I'm not sure the Shipley connection. I'm not even really aware of who Don Shipley is. I've never had contact with them. So.
It sounds like you've made it very easy, like step by step for me, so I can. I appreciate
how about
that.
How about I do this? How about I actually send you? Right now, you got the paper that's got the blue ink on it. Let me send you the one without the blue ink. You want me to do that?
Yeah,
would that be better?
Send that to me. But I also would like to hear. I'd like to give you 2 minutes uninterrupted to respond.
Yeah, well, okay. So that DD 14 thing she showed, the veterans thing, that is not Angelo's company he went through. That is actually St. Louis. That is actually NPR.
No.
Actually, go ahead and Google it. If you don't believe me, Google it. The address is the same. Go ahead and Google it.
Okay.
This is going to show how stupid you are, traders. This is going to be funny because you're doing this in front of the people.
All right, yeah.
This is good.
Only because, but you asked a question, so now you want her to do something, so we have to.
So that address is actually St. Louis's address. Since I want to
give you time to speak.
She didn't even have time to check it twice before she put it up there, like all these other YouTubers do.
Would you like
go ahead
to
and
bet
Google
money on this or what?
Oh, we'll put money on it if you want to. Hell yeah, we will. Because that's St. Louis.
How about if this doesn't come up to an organization?
We make a $50 donation to a homeless vets.
That's NPRC.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, show me there. Yeah, show me there.
Hang on, Artie. Give her a chance to bring it up.
www.dd214direct.com. Okay. Now,
and that's Angelo's. Is that a company? It's a company he works for or works with.
No, this
Okay.
is just a veteran organization that offers to give
Helps.
you NGB 22s and DD 214.
Okay, so you're not even claiming that was
Correct. Ernie's claiming, okay, if you click the
Well,
box,
just bring it up for us. I want to see it.
I
I like to
did.
see it myself. I mean, I don't know what I'm
Oh,
talking
I'm
about.
sorry.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Let me go in here. That was me.
There you go. That's www.dd214direct.com. It is just, that's what they say. They
Wow. And that's that address it sends it back to, right? In St. Louis.
Here, I'll show you again.
Well, I mean, I want you to show me the address this goes back to it.
Right here,
Uh-huh.
at the bottom of this paper,
Right.
it says, sincerely, DD214 Direct Veteran Advocate Team, www.dd214direct.com. This is www.dd214direct.com. Angelo did not get this. This place did. And I'm not sure about the Shipley. This comes back to somebody else.
Actually, you're wrong again. It was Angelo. Angelo's name's on it. Then why is their name not on it then?
It is on it.
It's not on it. It's Angelo's name's on it.
Ernie, this is the paper. Angelo, it says he did an order ID, veteran's name, Ernest Max Shell. Sorry,
So what about the second paper? Who signed the second paper?
Nobody.
Nobody signed the second paper, you're saying?
Show me a paper that Angelo forged, please.
Okay. You want me to send it to you there, Homelander?
Hold on.
Well,
Now, while we're doing this, wait a minute. While we're doing this, while we do an investigation, we got to prove her P's and Q's, right? Hold up a minute. No. You already stepped in it. Let me say something. Look at the corner. Look at the time and date. Look at the time and date on that paper.
All right.
It says 1 or 2. Look at the time and date on that
hang on.
paper.
We got the time and date, Ernie. Hang on. Let me just hear what Trader said.
It's 7/1/2024. Would you like me to show you when you
Was there any
everyone permission 2 weeks before this to pull your records? Because
to pull my records or sign my records? Sign my records and pull my records.
Database of everything you've done for years. Literally timestamp database.
So there's a valid question.
Are fraudulent. You see, the law says
hang on, Ernie.
You cannot forge a government signature. You do understand that?
No, yeah. Let me ask. Okay, it's one thing to, and I want to hear more what you're saying, traders, about the alleged forgery, because it's one thing to allow people to pull your records. It's another thing for somebody to forge something. So, and you're claiming, Ernie's claiming a forgery, and
correct.
I want to.
As I just showed you, here, I'll share it again. Okay, you'll have to accept. And Ernie, first of all, can we back up just 1 second? Because you said I was wrong. You said WWDD214 Direct went back to St. Louis. You meant the NPR, and you're wrong. Can you admit that? Because you were wrong and I was right.
I'm very curious about the forged signature, because a lot hangs on the forged signature, right? That's where it all comes down to.
The law states, in order to anyone to sign someone else's signature, they have to have power of attorney.
Yeah, Ernie,
they have to have power of attorney,
Okay.
or the person themselves has to sign it. It don't matter what you say. I can say, Traders, go sign that signature for me right now. You still legally can't do it.
Traders understands that.
I could. So
you need a power of attorney. You can't just forge somebody. You can't sign for somebody. We all understand that. I think we all agree on that. I think the disagreement is Traders is saying that nobody forged your signature.
Correct. No one.
So, and I'm not saying nobody forged your signature. I don't know that. This is like the one thing I haven't looked into at all. And Ernie's making a very strong claim that his signature was forged. Now, Ernie, were you in jail when that signature was signed or allegedly signed? Where were you July 2020, what, 4?
He was out. He was not.
Okay, you were out. I was just curious because that would kind of... Okay, so you were out, so...
So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and forward you the actual military records people contacted me stating that my signature was forged.
I want to
That's-
see that in black and white.
It's
Please
plain
produce
and
that.
simple.
Please
I'm going to
produce
forward you.
that.
What email do I send this to, Homelander?
You could send it to the regular email. Or you know, if you want to kind of just start stacking it all into Homelander Thinks at Proton ME.
Okay, so it's just Homelander Thinks at Proton ME.
.me.
Okay, I got you. Give me a
So
second.
that will allow me to kind of go down one by one and look at things, and because there is a lot on this signature, and I really don't. Traders, let me just ask you, how can we find out with any assurity that this was or wasn't forged?
Okay, because this the same screenshot he shows, it flat out says, so Angelo makes a request to this organization to get his DD-214 or NGB-22. Comments, please see attached request for records, okay? Order ID, gives the order number. This is the information Angelo provides. Date of birth, whatever scribbled out, I don't know. Phone number, mailing address, email, sincerely. There is no signature.
Okay. And Ernie, let me just ask you the same question. What is your definitive evidence? Now, I know you're going to send me something that the state says that this signature was forged. So you have that will definitively say, at least from the state or the Fed, that this signature was forged. I'm just trying to find out what's the smoking gun on that signature, of whether it was forged or wasn't forged. And if you have something from any government agency, whether state or federal, that says this signature has been forged, we will be investigating this further, whatever it says, that'd be a pertinent piece of information.
I also zoomed in. Remember the other day when actually...
Okay, so I just sent that to your email. It's not from me. It's from military records. You'll see that. You'll see how they found me. You'll see how they contacted me. You'll see the actual forgery. You'll see the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's also on there asking for my records. I beat them.
But will there be anything on there saying that either this is forged or there's a suspicion of forgery from them?
That's why they contacted me for it. You'll see it. Just look at it.
So-
You'll see the
so-
signature. You'll see it's... Well, anyways, look, we can wait until all this is pulled out and these warrants go out, and then we'll go for it.
Okay, hang on. Go ahead, traders. I'm not gonna be able to pull it up now. I got, there's 37.
Well, at least you got
this live is great, and
you got it.
So can I pull something up real quick?
absolutely,
right
please do. I'm not rushing. It just would take me.
The other day, he said he took warrants out. Remember that?
Yes.
I did.
I want to prove to you that there is no forgery. If there was a forgery and he was getting warrants, wouldn't that be essentially what you'd want to go for?
Yeah. So
what I did, he showed this bundle of paperwork. And
yeah, you've been doing good work zooming in on these and taking snapshots, and yeah, I appreciate that.
All this is he went in, he called these people, and then he turned around. So it's just a call response run report, because he absolutely, and here's him right here.
The world is
a vampire. Okay.
The world is...
So quickly he showed, but we zoomed in, call response report,
Mhm.
and then narrative. And I zoomed in on this, okay? This says nothing about forgery. This says nothing. And on this paper, it actually says harassment. So when he was first, at the very beginning of this video, he tried to talk over the officer, and the officer says, "Oh, those are the papers you gave me. I just gave them back to you." And as you can well see, he printed this out, gave it to the police because he was trying to tell the police, hey, this man committed a crime. But the report is actually only for harassment.
Okay, real quick, Ernie, do you have anything to refute that?
Yes, I do. I never said these are the papers they gave me. He said this is the papers he gave me to
Mhm.
get back to you, is what he said. Now,
Okay.
No,
here's the thing.
no,
Here's the
no.
thing. No. Let me finish our.
Yeah, just good. Finish up and then traders.
Let me finish. The
Just
thing
hold on
about
to
it
that
is,
for 1 second.
that was Perry County. That was Perry County. They filled out the report. They done the report. They done a run report. That's not where I took the warrants out at, though. I
Your
couldn't.
life,
I couldn't do it at that time
was
because.
titled "Gotcha Warrants Filed."
Okay.
The warrants,
That
I'll
does
tell you
not-
just
Just
as
because
a-
the title says that,
Stop
and I did
it.
that, and I did that so you all would screenshot it when I flashed it around like that, so you would believe what you're going to believe.
well,
Simple.
yeah, the warrants and stuff. I don't. I'm
Homelander,
not
think
putting.
about this. I was talking to you that morning. I was
Mhm.
in Louisville, Kentucky. Remember? That's not Louisville. I drove
I
that
don't.
whole day. I
Hold
did
on.
that thing that
How
whole
can
day and the day
Homelander
after that.
prove that
Think
you were
about
in
it.
Louisville? Just because
No,
you said it.
I don't remember that, but what I'm trying to say is the warrants, certain things that are said online and threats made and things like that are one thing. What I'm really trying, the meat and potatoes that I'm trying to get to is that signature and proof that it was forged or proof that it wasn't forged, because that really kind of seals the deal there.
Oh, it does
That's-
seal the deal. It does seal the deal. It really seals the deal.
Can I
But I
just-
sent you over. I
Homelander?
sent you what military records sent to me. That's all I can show you right now.
Okay.
There is an open investigation on it right now. There have been warrants filed. They're doing the investigation even right now. She can say what she wants to.
Traders, I'm
And
going to come to you
and-
1 second. Ernie, you
And
do
here's the thing.
understand.
I want you to know that this
Yes.
date this is at May 3rd, 2025. This is going on. This is traders throwing her credibility up. She's putting her marbles and all her apples into this basket. So when she's proved wrong, I want all her
Correct.
people
I am.
and her followers to
I
say,
am.
"Hey, traders, what about this? You was
And I
you
just-
wrong on this."
Hold on.
I just want hang on before you go, traders. I just want to tell you, Ernie, I'm going to be looking for specifics on this signature and forgery. I just want to make that known. But go ahead, traders. What were you going to say?
So I showed you the website. Everybody can double check me. Ernie claimed that website was from NPR. NPR is where you get the records from the military. That wasn't
Mhm.
true. So I already won that one. Ernie, you need to concede. I beat you. Okay? We should have put money on it because I would have definitely won. Anyways, I also showed you Ernie's live where they faxed the paper, right? Where was the signature part? Nowhere. Angelo provided a name, a number, an address, a birthday, right? No signature.
Again, we could simply just go to time and date and you'll see
I
it.
just showed it. Time and date, 7/1 of 2024. I have Ernie all June long saying, pull my records. I give everyone permission. Pull my records. I actually just played that the other day. And just like that, I could go to my spreadsheet and pull it up.
And again, you cannot
Angelo did
sign
not
someone's signature.
succeed.
You cannot
As
sign
you-
one's signature. That's what
I
I'm
don't
getting at.
think, and
I
none of
I
us.
can say pull my
Look.
records all day long to anybody.
Son,
You
he went
cannot
to an
sign a signature
organization.
unless.
I just showed you he went.
Anyways,
You showed it yourself.
you're stupid. You're literally stupid.
All right, Ernie. None of us disagree that
But she
forging a
won't show the
signature is
paper. Show
totally
the other
illegal.
paper. Why won't she show the other
All right.
paper?
I'll check it out and I'll get it up here as soon as I can. Nobody disagrees that forging a signature is illegal, and there's a very strong argument to be made that forgery as a crime that involves a real victim and real loss is possibly worse than stolen valor. So
well, it's a class B felony. It's
one of
10
yeah,
to
of
20
course.
years.
Angelo is a master sergeant. He spent many years in the military just to prove Ernie's wrong. He wouldn't need to forge. He went to the organization. Ernie showed the proof himself. I followed up on what Ernie showed. I don't listen to anybody.
Then if you followed up, why don't you put the second paper up there? Because you're afraid.
I see what Ernie's presented, and then I do.
Everybody knows there's a second paper. I put it up there 4 times with that paper.
Yeah, I missed all
you're
of that.
hiding. Ask the chat. They've all seen the second they've all seen it same time, same day. And it's got Angelo's signature. It's got the thing on it. So
hang on one.
See, forged my signature.
Okay, Ernie.
That says there was a forgery. Ever. You've never shown that. Ever.
And until the investigation is over with, there won't be one. That shows you how stupid you are.
Well, hang on. No, that's you're right, Ernie. I don't know if you're right, but we do need something that shows
an authorization.
We need something that shows that there is forgery. We need an official document that shows that there was forgery. I'm not saying that
that's when the arrest is made. That's when the arrest is made and the claim is made.
If it comes out in the discovery, if it comes out, I'm not saying you're wrong that it's it doesn't come out till later. I'm just saying that at least for me, until I see something that says definitively that there is forgery, I'm not going to make that claim that there was forgery.
I can send this all to you. You can compile it. You can use it as what you're getting ready to make a report on. And when everything comes out, you'll have that to back it. You'll say, well, right here it is. Here's where it originated from. Here's the woman herself contacting Ernie on Facebook Messenger and telling him, call me. I'm with the military record of Kentucky. If I was stolen valor, they would never reach out to me. They would not reach out to someone that's stolen valor. And here she is. Her phone number is right there in the papers. You can call it yourself and ask for the woman. She will tell you the 3 only people who pulled my records was Angelo Stevens, Master Sergeant Craig, whatever his name is, and the Kentucky Transportation Records is the only people who have pulled my records for that was not pertaining to me. They'll tell you that.
Hang on just a second. Good traders.
So that's not true either. You just debunked yourself. I just showed you it was the DD-214 direct people that pulled your information on behalf of Angela. So you're actually wrong about that too.
Then let me ask you a question. Then why did let's say if it was the DD-214 people that pulled my records? Then why would they put Angelo's wife's address and his email to send the records back to?
I've seen an email address. I didn't see anything that you're claiming.
Okay, well, all you got to do is go up there to it. You'll see that's his wife's address.
I can only go what you show on your live, Ernie. I can only debunk or prove.
Well, Homelander has it all. The unredacted version.
And I'll check it out. I just need you, real quick, Ernie. I just need you to promise me, just man to man, that if I or just human to human, if I look at these documents and I don't find anything that can solidify the claim that there was forgery, I don't want you to get angry with me, okay?
Look, you'll see herself. She says, the only people besides you that's pulled these records, you'll see where she's typing in it and says it from military records. And then she shows what was pulled. I gave her permission to do it. You can look at those and you'll see that. And then we'll wait till the warrant is executed. That's what we have to do. When the warrant's executed, you'll be able to go. You'll have a timeline. You'll have that timeline. You'll be able to go through. You'll say, hey, this is when it was. This is the dates. This is all that. This is the dates when everything was pulled. From there, it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say.
I will look into it and get it. I got other stuff, going on, obviously, but I will. I'm actually really interested. I'm very. This is interesting to me, and I would like to find out the truth. And I just don't want anybody to get upset about the truth. Right? The truth stands on its own, and we can't
I'll
get
tell you
angry.
what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do. In the interest of fairness, I will also email. I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't even email it. I'll forward the military records to Traders herself.
Homelander can forward it to me. Real quick,
Go ahead.
on 4/16 of 2025, Ernie, you sent Blaine Katie a whole bunch of documents from the Kentucky Department of Transportation. Do you remember that? And they wanted the unredacted. You sent her papers. They wanted the unredacted NGB Form 22. Otherwise, they were going to take
Who
off
wanted?
Okay,
Tra-
this is a good. This is a good
Traded,
thing.
was it?
Wait a minute.
Was it
This is a good thing.
transportation that wanted it?
Yeah, it's a transportation cabinet.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they did, and they revoked my license. Listen,
Misrepresenting why the Kentucky Department of Transportation tracked him down.
okay.
And
Well,
I
let me answer that. They did, and they did revoke my license, like they said, or whatever. Right?
Why did
Right.
they revoke your license?
They did revoke my license, and
Because they
I had to go.
wanted your.
And will you be quiet a minute?
I know what the
And they
answer
also
is.
contacted. Listen, and they also contacted the Department of Homeland because of terrorism attacks and stuff like that.
Hang on, Traders. I'll follow that.
I was visited by the Department of Homeland. I sure was.
But why
And
did they revoke your license?
Because of the redaction.
Right.
But
Because
are you gonna let me finish? Can I finish?
No, I'm going to tell Homelander the truth. You said it yourself. He took the redacted NGB Form 22 to the driver's license place and said, "Hey guys, I'm a veteran." They didn't verify. Angelo called and said, "Hey, he's not actually a veteran." And then they said, "Oh." So they contacted Ernie and they were like, "Hey, bro, we're going to need the unredacted copy, or we're going to have to get
Revoke.
no veteran on your license."
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My mic was going out and I didn't even hear none of that what you said. Can you say that one more time? Wait a minute. Please let me do this, Homelander. Can you say that again? Are you sure it was? Wait a minute. Go ahead.
I know that's what happened. All right. So you took your redacted NGB Form 22 to the DMV people, and you were like, "Hey guys, I'm a veteran. Can I get that print on my license?" And they were like, "Sure," because it was probably abroad. And anyways, when Angelo called him, he was like, "Hey, this."
Wait a minute. You said Angelo. Are you talking about? Are you talking about Angelo? You're talking about? Listen? Are you talking about Staff Sergeant Angelo Stevens? Are you talking? But go back. Are you talking about Angelo Stevens or Staff Sergeant Angelo Stevens? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for verifying that.
You're very welcome. So, anyways, he called.
So let me ask you a question. How do you know it was him that done that?
Because I have a magic 8-ball, Ernie.
So no. Seriously. How do you know it was Angelo that said that?
I have a magic 8-ball.
How did you know that it was Angelo that did that to me?
You said it was.
No. You said that Angelo called. You said Angelo called. You just said Angelo called.
You said it.
No. You just said Angelo called the Kentucky. You just said that Angelo called. How do you know that? Just verify that. Quit backstepping and verify it.
Put a 1 in the chat. If Ernie 5 minutes ago just said Angelo got my driver's license frozen. Put a 1 in the chat if Ernie.
Wait a minute. That ain't what we just said. You just said Angelo called.
Okay, hang on.
Angelo called.
What is the relevance of if it was Angelo
I'll get to it when she says it. How do you know Angelo called?
Trying to get more warrants. It's a troll. He thinks I'm slow.
No, I didn't say nothing. No warrants. I just said, how do you know for a fact that Angelo called? It's as simple as that.
The DMV, and he got the veteran tag on his license fraudulently. The DMV said, "Hey, man, you need to bring the unredacted form." Or
are you saying it's a crime, Ernie, that if somebody called to report that you got? No.
I'm not saying nothing was a crime. I'm just asking her what she was talking about. I said nothing's a crime.
10 minutes ago, Ernie.
Because what she said was true. She said what she said was true about me losing my license. They revoked my license. They did. They sure did. They did.
You
They
said
sure did.
Angela froze my license. So
They
I
sure
put
did.
all the pieces together and I presented it to the people in a nice, colorful story form, but it's very accurate and very true.
So
Well, if there was
but-
inaccurate information given when you got your
Yeah.
license, then they would have to revoke or, you
so
know,
they revoked my license. They did do that. And then the Department of Homeland came and visited me, and everything was made right.
now I'm just curious, how did Department of Homeland Security get involved in with your license and the
Because of terrorism and stuff. Because Angelo had contacted the Kentucky Department of Transportation and the transportation, and he also contacted Department of Homeland before in the past on me. He's already got it. He's already been
Have to do
again.
with the DMV.
well, that was my question. I just don't know
because if you
what
got
is,
that military veteran thing on your license, you can get on military basis, dumbass.
No,
well, somebody would have to make a claim that you were
with a valid
Again, you can get on military
have to be
bases and
veteran.
stuff, and you can just okay. Anyways, look,
yeah, you can. No, there's truth to that, but somebody would have had to have said this person is trying to get
well, it's kind of like the
a
person
military
saying
ID,
well,
so
listen,
that
it's
they
kind of like
can-
it's kind of like that same person Angelo telling Department of Homeland that I was burning people at the stake, and he admitted to that. He admitted to that. He admitted to that.
He wants a link, Homelander. This is
well,
deflection, though.
Yeah, no, I see this going. I was just trying to find out where the Department of Homeland Security would actually use their resources.
Well, listen, if you all would just put two and two together, I've got the gotcha moment in the present right now.
Well, absolutely. Look, if somebody said that, look, Ernie Shell is trying to get a veteran's license so that he can do something nefarious on a military base, then I could see, Homeland Security stepping in or other federal agents stepping in. I'm just trying to find out where
they stepped in, all right. They stepped in. They damn sure did. Ooh, Lord God.
I don't see them stepping in just for a clerical error.
No, not no clerical error. They stepped in, all right. They sure did. 2 or 3 different times already.
Katie's backstage, Homelander.
I didn't see this up. Okay. Yeah, if we could just... Thank you, Traders. Yeah, I don't want to team up. Thank you. I appreciate Traders. It was great to have you up and actually talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Traders, for coming up and telling the truth. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. I have a database. Bye, guys.
Hey, Traders, hang on one second. Oh, maybe not.
Okay. No. I think she's there.
Okay. I'm not here to talk to that person up there, but I just wanted to say that you will absolutely not find any kind of documentation that anything was forged that he was sent. And he got his license revoked. For all the slow people in the chat, he got his license revoked because he, who claims to be such a veteran or whatever, when they had a question about his veteran status on his license, they called him, okay? They called him personally and asked for the NGB 22, okay? And because it was sent in unredacted, okay? He said no, he was not going to give over that information. So he had to get his license revoked and reissued with no veteran status on it. Because why? He's not a veteran. Is that clear? We're clear, yes?
No,
yes.
That would make sense in a...
Yes. So
can we get a date on that, Katie? What date was that?
He lied about being a veteran.
Can you get us a date on that?
He lied about being a veteran.
Can we get a date on that, Katie?
He lied about being
so
a
listen.
veteran.
So if that did happen, then why does my license have veteran on them right now for it?
He lied.
If that happened, why does my license say veteran on them right now?
Lied.
So
again.
Okay, hang on, Ernie. You're claiming that you have a current active. You have a current active Kentucky driver's license that has veteran status on it.
Oh yes. Verified through the Department of Homeland. Yes.
Again,
you see, Katie, that's the mic drop on your ass.
Reissued with a veteran status on it.
Yes.
That's what I think he's claiming. Yes.
So give me a date so I can show you again that you're wrong. No. You're gonna be owing me a big apology. Yes, you
I'm
are.
not ever apologizing to your ass.
Then don't.
I'm
Then
not.
don't. It just makes it
Guys-
that much worse. Anyways,
guys-
go ahead.
Okay, worse for what?
Anyways,
You're
and I'm glad
lying.
we got a real news channel now that I can just report to and
Listen,
give my
hang on.
can I tell
information
you
to,
this,
and they'll do
Homelander?
right. Well, anyways,
Homelander,
okay,
I
so
am
this is the
so
easy way.
glad.
Homelander,
Homelander,
listen,
let
this
me
is the
say
easy
this.
way to do it. Tell them to give you a date.
Let me say this
That way,
really quick,
anything
and I'm
after
gonna
that
jump
date,
down.
if I've got a license after that
Let me
date,
say
they're
this real
wrong.
quick, and
That's
then
how
I'll
you
jump
prove
down.
it.
Homelander, I appreciate you being somebody who's fair and honest. I appreciate you looking at all sides of everything. You are a way better man than Ernie Shell will ever be. Your voice is like butter, baby. Okay. We like you a lot, and we
Oh my
appreciate the time
God.
that you are taking and the grace that you're giving to this poor lying piece of shit up here. So you got to kind of just you got to pin him, because if he keeps on talking in circles, we'd love to see receipts. Just ask for receipts. He keeps on trying to circle around the fact that he's trying to say that shit was forged. There's absolutely no documentation that somebody emailed him saying shit was forged, and he should be warned there's forgery.
Well, I mean, I
That
could
is
call her up on the line
He's a
right now if
total
you want me
liar,
to.
LARPer, and yeah, I'm gonna get down. I saw Nikki today. He is alive and well. You ain't never gonna get my golden boy, bitch. Sorry.
Nobody wants your golden boy, ho.
Well, thank you, Katie. I
Thank
appreciate.
you. I appreciate it.
I
So when's this
survived
date
your
gonna come in?
persona.
So
I
when's this
appreciate
date?
that.
So here's the
But
thing. When's this
so yeah,
date gonna come into
okay.
play?
So Ernie, you keep making a claim about a date. So I would like to just what do you mean by a date, and how can I get that? Like, what do you explain that to me?
So the date that this happened, that my license was revoked. Of course, they was. So I want them to prove a date. That way, after that date, if I've got new license, like I just got licensed like 3 days ago, got it
Well,
fixed.
let's start with just the forgery first before we move on.
Yeah,
Let's do
okay.
that first.
So
That'd be the best thing. But
to
look, I'm
be-
gonna send you. Hey,
Go
Homelander,
ahead.
I'm gonna send you the text right now.
yeah. So my number one priority is I want to see if this forgery has any weight behind it, any substance behind it. That is really where my head is at. So after that, we can see.
I'm going to go ahead and drop. Thank you, Homelander.
Thank you so much, traders.
And I'm going to send you another email of the documents Ernie sent Katie, the one
Okay.
I just brought up recently. So, bye, guys.
Yeah, the more information, the better. The more. Thank you, traders. Have a wonderful weekend.
Well, bro, I tell you, man, they got me, man. I mean,
No, I don't think they got you. Look, you. Okay.
Look
Let
at your
me be
text
fair
message.
here.
Look at your text
Okay.
message.
To be fair here, you stood up and you have I don't, if I click on that it might take me down from here, but
Well, I mean, you can see both different ones, right?
yeah,
Look at the
I
date.
see that it was sent. I can't see them, but
Okay.
you stood here and you took what was said and what was presented to you. You held back on your ad homs, or your insults, as best you could, which was pretty well. I think we got a lot of conversation here, a lot of discourse, right? You got information sent out. You didn't back down. You didn't get upset and start cursing. And there's productivity here. Okay, whether it comes out the way you want it or the way they want it. There
Oh, God, I
was.
love it. I ain't gonna
This
lie,
was
man.
good.
I love it. This is going to be amazing.
I'm very. I give you all the credit in the world for coming up here and taking the heat, because these people don't like you.
Oh,
And
I know.
you're offering this information. And
So can you ask the crowd one thing?
yes, of course.
If I do prove that I'm a vet, are they going to apologize to me?
I believe so. Some of them, I can answer this for you. Some of them will. Some of them won't. I can tell you. I think Trader said Maggie said she would apologize to you up and down.
Well, can you tell them if it's possible, if they could apologize to me in the form of a Cash App or PayPal.
Listen, okay, I am not for any of grifting. There's a I don't. I, if Ernie proves that he's a vet beyond a shadow of a doubt, send him $1, send him 5. That could be your way of apologizing. I'm not now. It can't be a, you know what I mean. It can't be one of these things where, well, you sent this document and it's still kind of in between. If you, and I've told you this, if you
Yeah, I
drop
know.
that,
That's why I said you got to wait. I mean, it's
yeah,
like when we
if
get the
Ernie,
FOIAs out, all that's going to be big. It's going to be
if,
huge. But anyways, it's just like I said, I'm not going to give out everything
if,
because everybody thinks
if
I give out
Ernie
everything. I don't.
drops, if Ernie drops this smoking, and I mean smoking gun, if he drops this atomic bomb that he was a legitimate vet that did all the things that is, and it's like without question that this man is a veteran, then there should be some reckoning. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not saying it is. But if it is, there should be a reckoning there. Absolutely.
So that also would mean that my records are falsified.
Which records is that?
The military records that was pulled, which is another crime.
Yeah. So like if you went through all of basic training and you served out your term as a vet, and that stuff comes back as falsified and everything else.
Well, let me
Oh
ask you a
boy.
question. Let me ask you a
Oh
question.
boy, Arnie.
Let me say something right now. If I did all this, and I'm fake, would I be able to be involved in the military today, like right now while we're speaking?
I don't know enough about that to speak
No, I
on it.
would. No, I wouldn't.
Well,
Because of
the
everything
reason
going
why I say
around.
that is so the bureaucracy in the military. I don't know. This is just an assumption. That like military's government, the bureaucracy, it's probably at least possible for people to work with the military in certain ways where certain things fall through the cracks. I don't know if that's definite. I'm just saying that might be possible. That's all.
I mean, it might be, but I highly doubt it. But anyways, look, are you getting ready to close out?
Yeah, I'm gonna close out. I
Well,
love you
I've got a
guys.
live going at 8 o'clock. I've got this
Awesome.
big live set up
Okay, so
already. I've
it's
been doing it on behind the
perfect.
scenes.
Perfect. I
So
got to eat so much. I will get on. I'll listen to you. I'll be in the bushes listening as I'm doing.
would you at
things.
least look at those documents I sent you?
I will. Yes,
in
I will
text?
look at. Yes, I will look at those documents. I'll look at them closely. All the documents everybody sent me, I will look at them closely. I will. I'll be around listening. Like I said, I appreciate you coming up and standing up to the fire.
Oh God, yeah, that ain't no fire at all,
Like
man. That's easy.
I'm watching this chat and I'm trying to be fair and put up like things that are just. I'm trying to find like
Well,
chat
here's the thing:
things that are.
if you just put up things that are fact and that you can prove, you'll never have
Well,
a problem. Never have a
you know,
problem.
I'm
It's when you
looking.
start weighing in. That's the thing.
Well, so I'm looking through the chat and I'm trying to highlight chat that is pro Ernie, and I couldn't find any. So, but I want you to know that the fact that you stood in the face of that, okay, that you stood in the face of that criticism, and also the criticism of people coming up and one by one kind of taking shots at you, and I tried to keep it fair and but you stood there, you took it, whether you're telling the truth or lying is something we'll find out for sure in the future. But you stood there, you took it. I appreciate that. And I hope that at the very least, we got information out, whether it's pro, anti, whether it's pro Ernie, anti Ernie enemies or anti enemy. It's information. It's information that you guys can absorb and process the way you want to process it. I tried to keep it as less drama and as much discourse or debate as I could. That was what I was hoping for. I'm very thankful for it. I'm so thankful for the chat, just the people. Even you, Ernie, you were putting out things that you thought were evidence for you, and they were putting things out that they thought were evidence for them, and the chat can decide on their own. It wasn't you guys just calling each other a bunch of names and rage quitting.
No, I ain't gonna call them names. There's no reason to. I mean, I joke
Well,
around.
you started to a few times, but you reeled it in. You reeled it in, and I think
reeled
that's
it in.
good.
Because I
That's
know
good.
because I know I'm not going to get beat on this. I know what department. Look, you're talking to YouTubers. I've talked to actual federal investigators that had the ability to take
Oh,
my
hang on,
life away.
I got traders. I'm sorry, I got Sapphire backstage. I don't know. Sapphire used to be really sweet to me. Let me just add her real quick. I don't know. Hi, Sapphire, are you there?
Hi, Homelander. I'm
How
here.
you doing? I've run around as PSA and other, but you were always very sweet to me, even when I don't know any drama between you and anybody else. I'm not taking any sides. I
Right.
just I just always thought you were very nice to me. I always liked that. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you. I appreciate. I I try to be nice to everyone, but
Yep.
I do have my limits with people, and you know, but otherwise, I just try to ignore people I don't care for.
Yeah,
It's
no,
sad.
I just thought it was nice. You were always nice to me, even. Anyway, go ahead. I'd like to hear. What would you like to have to say?
Well, my question is, Ernie's asking if we're all going to apologize if it comes out that he is a veteran and all of this. My question to Ernie, which branch of service are you a veteran from?
The Army.
From the Army. And when did you enlist in the Army?
That's all my papers. You can look at it.
Well, I don't have your papers here, so I'm
Well, that's it.
asking
Well,
you
it's,
the
it's
date.
neither. It's just hearsay for me to say it. I mean, they got it. They got it out there. So
It's not hearsay. It's simple fact. I mean, anytime I ask anyone when they enlisted, they tell me like a month and a year, or at least a year.
Nicolina, I just want you to know that if it wasn't obvious, you're the person I was talking about. That if you don't like somebody, you're gonna grab them by the ear and you're gonna drag them to hell. And if you do like somebody, you're gonna go to hell and you're gonna face off against the devil for somebody that you know
she will.
that you support and that you're so you know. I respect the fact that you will die for those that you call friend, and you will kill for those that you don't call friends. That's all. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
um, yeah. So Ernie, when did you enlist in the Army?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry about that. September 3rd.
Of what year?
God Almighty, 98 or 99.
You don't know what year?
Not really. No.
That's weird.
Yeah, I just say that.
Okay, so
Hmm.
what was your
11B.
I mean, I'm not a military person,
11B.
so
MOS 11B.
what is that?
Infantry.
I'm sorry,
Infantry.
infantry. Okay, so what did you do?
I was an infantryman. 11B.
I know, but what does the infantry do? I told you I'm not military.
They fight the good fight.
Mm. Well, what were the pictures with you with the MP on then?
That was in 2020 when I joined the Tennessee State Guard, which is a branch of the military, and I was a 31B, which is military police.
So how? Hold on. You were actively in the Army,
Mm-hmm.
and then you signed up for the State Guard as well at the same time.
No, years and years afterwards.
Hmm.
So that should tell you something right there.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is all new. We never heard this one, Ernie.
No, well, I mean, it's just something that happened.
Well, me and you were friends for a long time.
We were. I'm telling you, we had a good time too. I thought
Till you kept lying.
that's what you say.
Well, I wasn't the one who faked cancer. It was you.
I never faked cancer.
Yes, you
I
did.
said what my doctor told me, and
No,
that's all I
you
did.
faked cancer.
Again, there we go again. I said what my doctor told me,
No,
and I'm gonna.
you came
Okay,
out.
okay. I did. I
You
come out and
came
said it.
out
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
the
I did.
day after we found out.
Do what?
The day after we found out
Again? No, you
about
did
one of
not.
the. I'm not done speaking.
Okay.
The day after we found out about her dying from her stomach cancer, and you announced you had cancer to everyone. I have been talking to you that whole time.
Well, you're wrong.
And you, no,
You're
I'm
wrong. It
not
wasn't a
wrong.
day after. It wasn't a day after I came
I'm
out. No, it was
not
not.
wrong.
Yes, you are.
No,
Because
I'm
she died
not.
months ahead of time.
The day
Nobody even knew
after,
it
I
before months
said
ahead of
the
time.
day after we found out.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about
See,
that.
no, you know what? You try to get the gotcha on everyone.
I mean, I got the gotcha on you.
Oh,
I've got the
really?
dates and the timeline. Yeah, I've got my
Really?
doctor's.
You got the
I've got
gotcha
my
on
doctor's.
me?
I've
No,
got my
you don't.
doctor's notes. I've got my doctor's notes. I've got my hospital records. I've got all that.
That'd be
Oh, my
that'd be something
goodness.
good. This is a whole different thing, but that'd be something good to show. And I don't
It
think
is.
there's
It's
any
going to be good to show,
if you could
and I can
show
show,
that
and
if
I
you
can
show that
show.
your doctor, or even just get a letter from your doctor saying that he thought that you had cancer, and then you can say like, "Look, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my doctor led me to believe this,
No.
and I said it, and I said it before I should have said it, and this is what really
Dude, they
happened."
But
went so far. They went so far to like literally when the nurse came back and everything, and they was talking. And another doctor came back in. He said, "Well, look, they was telling me about different cancer meds. That's how far they went. And I don't take meds of no kind, anyways. I didn't even want nothing to do with no meds,
no.
nothing like that. They'd already discussed it and everything. I was destroyed, broke up. Of course,
Ernie,
me and the
you
doctor.
drug
Okay,
it
I
for
give
a
up.
long time, and you did a lot of stuff. And you knew the whole time that you had HIV, and you lied to all of us.
Well,
Okay,
Sapphire,
so during that time, you're wrong. Your time date's
well,
wrong.
yeah,
You better
hang on,
make
Ernie,
sure.
hang on, Ernie. Sapphire, I find that interesting. I'm just curious. Is there any proof of that?
No, there's no proof of that. They're making shit up like they always do.
No, I'm not saying I can see how somebody can. There was a time where I thought that too. I'm not even saying I'm sure of it now. I'm
I'll give
just
you my
saying
records.
that
I'll give you my records when I was first
I
found
do because
positive for
all the
I
HIV.
don't.
There,
time
I've got them.
I would
I'm
imagine it wouldn't be that. I don't know. I don't know enough about medical for you
I'm
know.
saying, yeah, I'm saying because of the whole timeline and everything we have on him and everything he did.
Yeah,
And
kind of.
even you can even ask Betty Wasson because she was the first one to come out and say, wait a minute, this is this and this is that. She's got that live. And you know what? He hurt a lot of people because
Yeah,
that was like the
I
final
imagine it did.
that was the final kicker. And then you come out and
Yeah.
started up the military thing when me and traders had begged you to stay away from all the bullshit.
So wait a minute. So you're saying I started up the military thing then, right?
Yeah, afterwards, yeah.
So it was after I did the wait a minute, Homelander. After I did the HIV thing, right? Or the cancer, right?
Ernie, when you started doing
I
that,
asked you a question. Military
and
after? Was
I'm
it after? Was it after?
answering.
Was it after?
It was when you were supposedly sick, but you were going to go out and do these last child predator things and blah,
So
blah, blah,
that's when
blah,
I
blah, blah,
started the
blah,
military stuff.
and everything. In all your talkings,
Can you give us a time period when that was? Since you know so much and you got it right in
Well,
front
hang
of
you
on.
you.
want
Let me
so
just.
many dates. Hold on,
This is.
Ernie. Let me answer you this. You want so many dates from me, from traders, from Katie, from everybody. But I asked you one simple date when you enlisted in the
And I
army.
told you.
No,
Now, can you give me a date?
you could not give me a straight answer. You wouldn't even answer it first.
And
And
I asked you a
I
question.
kept asking over and over.
You see, the fact of
So
the matter is,
Yeah,
I've
hang
done
on.
the
You guys
I started off the
circles.
military stuff. This started way before all that. Way
Hang on.
before all that.
I just want to ask, and this is because this is something that ran through my head too. Do you think that, Sapphire? You think that it's possible that maybe it was easier for Ernie to say he had cancer than AIDS?
yeah,
Like, you think the shame
yeah,
that comes
I've
along
always
with that?
thought that. But we
Yeah, me
told him
too.
flat
I had a.
out. We told him flat out not to lie to us about that.
Well, that's so. I like I said,
Because
and Ernie knows this. If that, let's just say hypothetically, that was the truth, I would, I would be so much more sympathetic if I heard Ernie say, "Look, it's, I felt shameful having AIDS, or I felt embarrassed, whatever the feeling, and I didn't know how to let people know I was sick." I think we all agree on that, and I'm not saying that's the truth, Ernie. I'm just saying that there's there's shades to this. It might not be just as black and white as him, scamming a cancer scare, or maybe it is. I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying that I don't know. I would
right,
need more.
right, and even when
So,
he was
let
in
me
New
ask you a
York,
question, Sapphire. So, what if it does come out that I did work with Trump's executive orders with human trafficking, and
oh my
I was
gosh,
in the
stop
military, and I
it,
was in all this
stop
stuff?
it.
What happens then
Because
if it comes out that I
here's
was?
the thing. Here's the answer to all of it. Trump, the military, the cancer, all this stuff. Ernie, you have had over 3 years to show everything. You've had over 3 years. You've had so much financial backing
Mm-hmm.
and emotional support. It's not even
Right.
funny.
I know. I mean, you'd say I've had
And
hundreds of
hold on,
thousands of
I'm not
dollars,
done.
probably, right?
I'm not done. No, I've never sent you $1,000. No.
Okay. I never said that. Never said that. See, that just goes to show you only listen to what you want you to hear.
No, I didn't hear you correctly.
Well, then don't answer the question if you
Pardon
don't hear
me
me
if I
correctly.
didn't
Tell
hear
me to
you
rephrase it or
correctly.
something.
Yes, please, re-say it. You spoke when I was speaking, so I didn't hear you.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. Since you've been with me all this time,
I'm not,
Sapphire, how much money would you say I've accumulated in all the years?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Okay.
And that's the simple truth.
So let me ask you a question. If I ask you, did I ever have anything to do with Trump's combating human trafficking task force teams or anything like that with it, with anything with that? What would you say?
I would say no, I do not believe so.
So you believe that's a lie?
Yes.
Was
All right,
I
guys,
ever
we're
okay?
dancing around in circles. We're almost at 8 o'clock here. I think.
Right.
Okay.
And the thing is, he likes to cut people off when they're talking. And what I was trying to tell you, Ernie, is you've had all these years to show all this stuff, and it's always tomorrow or next week, and you've never shown one thing. And this is to several people, many people.
So, like, what should I show
I'm
you? I mean,
talking, please.
So I've showed my PPS
Please.
license. I showed my private investigator license. They've had Logan
Okay,
say, "Hey, he was a."
Okay,
just give her a
here's your
second to
first
finish.
start. Here's your fresh start. Cam up right now and show your driver's license physically. Right now.
Well,
You can do that. You
I
don't got to send it to nobody. You don't got to take a picture. Cam up, put it in the camera. Let's see the veteran symbol on it.
bite me. I don't have any mods at the moment. I'm trying to end this. Listen, guys. I appreciate you all. I love you, chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop
Sapphire.
down. Hey, I appreciate
Yeah,
you, Homelander.
yeah.
I'll see you later, brother. I'm going live right now. Big special on
Okay,
Lisa
go ahead.
K. We'll have some
Yeah,
fun.
do your live.
Have a
Sapphire.
great
I've
night,
always. I like you. I like your daughter. I think. I'd rather amends be made than this kind of vicious. But I understand people's. But anyway, thank you so much for coming
No,
up. Thank
thank
you,
you.
everybody
I
tonight.
appreciate you.
You guys, please just try and find some happiness this weekend and enjoy your
Oh, yeah.
time. Enjoy your time with your family. Whatever you do to find enjoyment, to find some kind of peace. And I love and appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you, Homelander.